All right, we're just jump right into this. Haven't been doing a ton of content, but I thought we would basically just jump into the market, what's going on, talk a little bit about a couple questions people had, but I think overall really try to dive down a little bit deeper into like where we are in the market, some of the big stuff that is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks, some of the big news topics. And I think ultimately address some of the AI stuff that people have questions on. I think I'm appropriately prepared and have the right background to talk about that. Having run some of the largest AI products in the world and helped develop AI for some of the largest companies in the world. Um, I think also we have a couple topics of companies in the space that need to be talked about, specifically Pudgy Penguins. I think hype is one that's worth discussing, and the token trades that are happening, or the new token launches that are happening on Hyperliquid's layer. And I think also we had one interesting topic that somebody flagged to me. I wasn't aware of it until like an hour ago, but it looks like Pixel Vault back in the news. I have a very strong opinion there on the Echo question. And I think also I'm not going to talk anything specific about deals that are on Echo, but I think we've seen some interesting dynamics with attention on Echo, and what people expect in investing in deals on Echo. So we can hop into that. I have a list of things pulled up here. I'll just go through them. Um, and we'll kind of start the first thing real quick, just on a topic of where we are in the market. I'll add some context right now. Let me pull up the screen. So I think there's two different markets you would want to look at right now and get an understanding of from previous cycles where we stand. The first one is NFT market. Where do we stand in the NFT market? Are we early or late? Is it over? Or the highs in? I think the very obvious answer to that is there hasn't been like an NFT season. We haven't seen it. We're very early. But I think you can look at what CryptoPunks have done over the last few weeks and see that there's appetite still for it. I think you can go to Pudgy Penguins. Obviously, this is the loan side, but you can see the floor right now about 29 ETH. You can see if there's appetite for those, and the offers on those are pretty strong. I think you can also just go to straight up OpenSea and see what the top collections are and how those have inflated. I mean, weeks ago we were discussing Doodles down at 2 ETH being a buy. Mutant Apes down below. I think they were like 1.5 ETH. Azuki was down at 5 ETH, and now we're almost at 10. There has been some attention spill into there as you see more people wanting to get back in. They don't want to miss out. And so, yes, there's more appetite. More people are talking about NFTs again, but I think we're very early. I would compare this to like back in early 2021. Maybe Bored Apes have minted, but like there hasn't been any excitement about them. We're early. We haven't seen any of the craziness really pop off on NFT world, but there's appetite. I Even though we're seeing some of these collections start to narrow back to their all-time highs or where their collection highs were, and people are talking about very large airdrops like the Pudgy Penguin airdrop, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. That's being projected at like each Pudgy getting like 50K or like 20 ETH, even maybe even higher, depending on what you're putting that market cap or FDV at. Own opinions there. I won't open that can of worms yet, but there are a lot of things that we're going to see happen in the NFT world, and that's also fueled by the speculation around OpenSea's token. I think that if you think, and if you have a collection that has not done stuff, still hasn't dropped the token, they're actively building, they're going to be higher most likely, because you're going to have more people that are rotating in from meme coin profits, that are rotating in from altcoin profits and major profits, and these other airdrop profits. They're going to go and buy the NFTs that are basically digital clout flexes. They're going and buying the things, the shiny objects, the Cero that I just went and made $1 million. This is what I bought, and that's going to be your punks, your autoglyphs, your squiggles specifically, and then your higher end PFPs, some of your more well known generative art like Fidenzas. those are definitely going to get a surge as you see more trading happen. So I think we're early there. Specifically on the the market, I think we're early in NFTs. If you look at on the other side, where are we with the total market for technically altcoins? If you look at the crypto total market cap, this is on TradingView. It's called the Total 3, excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I believe Solana. I have to confirm that. Don't quote me, but I believe it does. We are seeing alts move considerably outside of majors as well. Majors are up, obviously. You could pull up those charts. Bitcoin has been playing with all-time highs. Ethereum is pushing back to 4,000. I think Solana is at like 220, so it's still playing around the highs that it's been for this local cycle. Things are hot still, and the volume is there, but we haven't seen this real like push past where we've kind of like hovered off of since the Donald Trump election win. I think a lot of people are playing this a single way, and you should be, I think, viewing this the same way as you're trading, which is you have up until the 15th of January when inauguration happens to basically be full risk on, make risky plays. And I've compared this to the analogy of like Trump's elected, and he's not in office. It's like you're dating this girl, you've told her all these like great things. You've made all these promises, you drive a Lambo, you live in a mansion, and then like she's like, okay, like let's date, let's do this. All that shit that you've been talking about, all the promises, all the hype, all this like like fairy tale dreams, it all becomes real the second he steps into office. And so then that becomes the like, okay, now you actually have to produce these things, you have to put things in motion. How bad is the friction going to be? So I think that is why a lot of people are like, hey, like there's no, everything's fugazi right now. It's, it's hope, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's good. And we're being promised a lot. We think a lot's going to happen, but the second he goes in office, a lot of that kind of turns into you got to do some shit. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm expecting for majors definitely to have some rally into the end of the year. I'm expecting alts to have some rally into the end of the year. I think we then see profits start to rotate back into NFTs as a lot of people do take profits out going into that. So just some context on where I see the market and where we're going. Definitely want to be watching like overall stuff. Don't get stuck into just looking at the price of Bitcoin or Solana. Definitely be tracking these like larger like index style charts that give you an idea of like where the overall market is or a certain sector is. That's certainly something that's useful. But yeah, that's what I think we're at. So real quick, I had the question. If you want to hop on here, if you want to drop a question, I think you can drop in chat and I can pull that up. I think that is going to be probably the most easy way to view questions. Solana is 100% a major. Yes. What? Whoever said that, you're an idiot. No, but I love you, man. It is 100% a major at this point, in my opinion. If you don't think it's like one of the three majors, I don't know what to tell you. Some of the most activity on all of the blockchain happening on Solana. It's one that you definitely have to look at and understand for sure. But I did have some questions come in, and basically wanted to answer those. So the first one was, what is the trade for 2025 in your mind? Ansem have been talking about this topic lately. I think it's a hard one. I have some opinions there. I think that certainly if you played hype correctly and you bought in at $4, you could have bought in, like there's plenty of time to buy in between like 380 and 420. You had all the time in the world. If you bought in there, you're just sitting, and you have the airdrop, you haven't sold it. I think that's a very, very, very low risk ride at this point. I think we'll probably be seeing some other tokens that, like, let's say that's just behind you. I think you can still get into that and have upside. People are calling for $100, $150. I like to think of it in the way that like you're definitely have less risk than other plays to get like a 5x if you think it's going to go 100. I think it can do it possibly. I think that's a little insane. A lot of things have to happen for that to happen. think like everything has to go right. Obviously, the supply is not the normal supply that you would look at a normal token, so that is technically possible. Um, but like let's just say, all right, I bought some hype. What's next? Like, is there a better trade this cycle? And I think you have to define it for yourself. Like, what do you like? What are you trying to get out of a trade? What are you quoting and like index, like making the indice for this is the trade of the cycle? Um, do I think that there's going to be an agent that pops up that we haven't seen yet that you can buy for like sub 10 million that runs to, well over a billion? Yes, 100%. That's still to come. Do I think that you can throw several $1 million into GOAT and get into that and be able to get liquidity out? Sure. I think that that is a trade that will probably play out. My big opinion on AI right now is that if you are investing on the technical side, so these agents that are like basically promising, hey, like we're going to be the best trading bot, and we're going to have the best insights, and it's going to be the best for social tracking and blockchain activity. Those bots are basically set up to fail the way that the technology and improvements are being rolled out day to day. Unless the dev is absolutely cracked and they're working on it 24 hours a day and they have a team around them, it's really, really hard to stay in that like number one position. And you have a ton of teams, especially out of California right now, that have never touched crypto, who are going, oh shit, like I'm an incredible AI developer. I can do agents all day long, and people are gonna give like I'm gonna make $1 million doing this. You're gonna have more people entering the space, and it's ultimately how you're gonna get a lot of these AI developers or even just general software developers who haven't touched crypto before to look at, hey, like this is my discipline. I'm really good, and go from there. I think the number one trade right now that is coming up that you can actually touch and do something on is, and this is answering the other question. The other question was predictions for Pengu. I think you genuinely could go and set up Pengu as like a full port trade if it falls at the right number. I think anything under $1 billion is absolutely FUD. I'll be full porting on that 100%. And I'll just shut my laptop and I'll check back in a day or two. I'll see where it is. Obviously, there is risk there, but yeah, anything under one, probably anything under 1.15 or 1.5, you can pretty much know that there's upside there. I think this is the trade where like a lot of VCs that faded it, they went to hundreds of VCs looking to raise. I think like over like 150 maybe said no. I can't remember how many they ended up having on their cap table. It's probably like 15 to 30, somewhere in there. But of those VCs that said no, I think a lot of them still want exposure. I think there's a lot of meme coin traders. I think there's a lot of altcoin traders. Like there's just a lot of traders that don't have exposure, didn't buy the NFT, and don't want that risk of buying the NFT to get an airdrop. I think there's a lot of people that have respect for where Luca is taking the brand. I think that this is the first time we're seeing a real ecom play. And I think that we're also going to have some partnerships alongside what Pudgy Penguins are doing that makes this kind of like a, oh shit, like this is the holy grail airdrop. Not to take away from hype. I know we have our hype maxis that are probably listening, but I definitely think that there is going to be a very interesting opportunity there to go heavy. That's kind of like the number I would put it at. 1.5 under that. I'm going pretty heavy into it. I think we're probably going to see this settle at 5 billion ish on day one and then move up from there, as long as we don't have like a bunch of people like just selling off and the sell pressure is too much. It also depends on what they're promising. The token is going to be used for, and also I think some of their gaming and their Pudgy World related news that will come out alongside this, and also how Abstract is being used and Pengu and how that's all going to play together. So I think that is, for right now, the things that we know are coming. That is probably the number one thing that you can actively prepare for and look for. If you are holding a Pudgy Penguin, I think that understanding and looking at how many tokens you're going to get and what that price is going to be, also making sure that you have like a pudgy rod, like I think that's probably going to be a multiplier. If we're going off of how they've done their IP stuff, it's going to be like a normal rod is going to be like a 5% increase, and then you can stack them. And so you're going to have people that are getting the airdrop plus like 30% more than the normal airdrop because of the rods. So that's definitely one to pay attention to and look at. There's all moving parts there. And also, obviously, I think we're going to see some sell pressure run into the Pudgy Penguins on the airdrop day. And no speculation there. A lot of people are saying tomorrow. A lot of people are saying December 24th. Who knows? But whenever that airdrop event happens, you're going to see those Pudgy Penguins and the little Pudgies have some sell pressure on them, but I don't think it will be as aggressive as people think. So I do think that the play is buying, if you have the money right now, buy the NFT, get the airdrop, and then there's probably going to be the ability to hold on to that airdrop and then sell the NFT if you just want to recover some losses. But my opinion, I think holding on to the NFT for a little bit is probably going to be a play for those who still want to have exposure into what they're doing with Pudgy World, especially if there are ways to generate more Pengu by using and interacting with their environment, which is most likely what's going to happen. So that is my take on Pengu, and also like trade of the year. I think also like trade of the year, there's a lot of stuff that still hasn't come out, but that's also why I'm saying like go look at like AI agents, be working and looking at that. Just looking at the chat, Base Kruger, no comment on your virtual brother. I literally launched an agent and I said, can't do what I can do on virtuals that I want to do. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't tweet anything. I didn't pump it. That's on you. What plays are CT missing at the moment, which will seem obvious in hindsight? I think, okay, so obviously we're talking about hype a lot. Hype is one. I think that a lot of people are like, hype's at 20, it's over. I think in hindsight, people are gonna be like, oh shit, like just like the number one leading decentralized exchange that allows you to short, also do leverage. That is so like valuable in this space. I think a lot of people look back and be like, shit, like I could have done that trade. And it probably will start to move up from here. I think also a lot of people are underestimating. I mean, just going back to other things that I mentioned here, I think people are also underestimating the idea of non-technical AI. So this goes back to memes within AI, Shogun, um, Goat, possibly some of like AI XPT isn't technically technical. It is like a cultural play. I think those outside of stuff like Vader's like promised to be like the number one, like the BlackRock trading AI agent. There's a lot of expectation there. I think that's more risky than some of these other ones. Um, I think people are also overlooking some of these other blockchains. So like Nate just mentioned this in chat, like Sui, Say, um, we also have like even like other layers, like layer two seasons coming in some sense. I hate to say like base season's coming, but it certainly is going to move that direction as a lot of these NFT platforms, a lot of these trading platforms, a lot of consumer facing products start to roll out. They can't happen on mainnet Ethereum. And I also don't know if we're going to see a lot of these happen on Solana purely from the toolkit that is available to Ethereum and who's building on Ethereum. So I do think that you're going to see new layer twos pop up. Many of them, 99% of them will be, here and then gone. But I do think you'll see some new layer twos that pop up and are very, very additive to the Ethereum ecosystem, and they definitely get mind share. Those are definitely trades and things you should be looking at. It's also why I kind of preach the idea of don't like we have like so much data flow and so many people are talking about new things and new projects and new NFT mints and new layers and new protocols. You have to go look at them and understand them. Don't just be like, oh, like that guy's posted like 8 rugs in a row. I'm not going to go like, I genuinely think that you have to look at everything at this moment because a lot of the things that are like to come have been like talked about over and over and over again. I think on that topic though of things I've been talked about, like Blast has an interesting position here where it does seem like they are getting a little bit more activity on the chain, and it will be interesting to see how that one plays out if they can make a turnaround. But the narrative and I think some of the scarring from how that airdrop went and how things performed there is hard to overcome. What else do we have here? Okay, yeah. So I also want to talk about this. I'm like very, very I, I don't know how to go about this without like being a dick. But full disclosure, the question here is interested on your take on G Funk's proposal to raise for Pixel Vault on Echo. Will this be good for GG? Okay, so I hold a fucking stupid massive bag of Pixel Vault assets. I probably put in like $1 million total into the company. Um, all public, nothing private. I wasn't even offered private, like in a friends and family round, which would have been nice, G Funk. I would have loved that. Um, Here's my take on what Pixel Vault needs to do. Uh, Partially like skewed as like a holder, but I think also just from like what I would tell any company to do. But I think going and raising like a community round would have made sense pre-token. The token, once you have a token out, the token should be the blood, like that should be the lifeline into getting exposure to the ecosystem. And I think somebody in the Discord, 555, mentioned this as well. Like it's subtractive to be like, hey guys, we're gonna do a round. Our last round was, I don't know, maybe $1 billion. I have no idea. I know like Bain and all those guys talked about like crazy valuations and they took in a ton of capital. I think that was not helpful to their long term like plans. But where they stand now, if they need capital, sure, that's like I guess a different conversation. But I don't think being like, hey, a community round solves all our issues. It adds into like now you just have people getting in at a certain valuation, and the only way they're getting out is if you're launching a new IP with new tokens, or if you're getting acquired, or if you're like cash flowing so much you're doing distributions. I don't see any of those like in the short term, and I don't think that's good for the community. I think you should be figuring out ways to unify under all your IP. Obviously, Wool and GG, that was like a conversation of like, do they merge them? I think that was something that had to happen like way earlier in the process to make sense. I think they have to stay separate. But I think for GG specifically, you need to figure out how to make that slowly become like the Pixel Vault token, um, and how to drive more value to that, get more people that want exposure to the infrastructure that you're building, the games that you're building, want to own GG to get exposure to essentially the company accruing value, not in attention, but also being used with other companies. Um, do I think they can do it? I think it's a very large ask, but I don't think that like Sean or G Funk hasn't basically gone and said like, hey, like it's impossible and we're trying to be extractive. Like he's definitely stuck around a job that has been super, super hard and he's had tomatoes and shit thrown at him. And obviously he's been called a rugger and stuff, but he's still building. The team that he has is really strong. I love the people that are at Pixel Vault. They're some of the most talented people in the space, but they definitely have a large ship to steer. And it's hard to turn like a narrative around in the space. It's like one thing that I think we've all learned. Like once you have FUD, it's really hard to shake it. You have to really produce something. Yugo was in the position recently where basically everybody was saying, hey, like you guys have basically been extractive. You had a shitty mint. You haven't produced anything. The demo days that you've done haven't been really reflective of all the things that you promised. And then over the last, I would say 3 months have really shown that, hey, like they've listened to the community. They're rolling out some products. They're not being, they're not being a bunch of like VC driven builders. They're being like reflective of what the space wants to see. And so that narrative and that sentiment towards them has really shifted. So it's possible. They're not really out of the woods by any means, but they definitely have shown that they can produce something. I think Pixelot has to go that direction as well. And they need to put something out. And by put something out, they need to start like showing like, hey, here's what we've built. Here's the steps. Here's how GG is super valuable to hold. here's how you can make a ton of money, and here's why it's super undervalued. And make sure that's like clear as day. Make it simple. Don't drop like, you don't have to like drop new shit. Just like show it. Very simple. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, it's just like comment here because I did get a message on like my feelings here. I am like low key butthurt, but I think that's also like the risk you take with any trade in this space. I think at the time it makes sense. Obviously, with Beanie leaving the company, him being like the champ, like narrative and marketing matters so much. With him leaving the company, him being like that driver of positivity and having people like being able to like shill to people, here's why you don't want to miss out. When you lose that, you have to fill that in, or you have to just start shipping products at such a rate that you don't need anybody to talk about it. The community is going to talk about it. That's why like Garga going on the timeline and basically telling people like fuck off, like we're gonna melt your faces, you don't like it, fuck off. Like he was just very strong and also saying you're gonna fade us and it's not gonna work and you're gonna be butthurt when prices start to rip and we ship products and you're left behind. That's good. That's the type of marketing narrative that they needed. Let's see what else. If you have other questions, drop them in chat. I don't know how many people are watching. I'm sure it's not a ton, but trying to do more streams and chat more about what's going on in the space. I know that we had cancellations killed Sony. Yeah, this is a great point. Cancellations killed so many great products last cycle. I think this is also like a good point to make, that a lot of people got a lot of shit last cycle and some of it wasn't substantiated, some of it certainly was, but we did see a lot of people get just like steamrolled by like the social narrative. It's why I stopped doing content. It's why I like just like being on social and being like having like people like yell shit about you is so detrimental to like wanting to be a builder. But I also think that we saw a lot of people with like the right intentions, like fuck up, and then people are just like complaining about the price of a token while they're trying to like build something. And then they get sucked away from trying to build that and just trying to like calm the community, tell them like they're going to help the price. And then it just turns into this like nasty like cycle. So that's true. But yeah. OpenSea and ENS. Nate, you want to talk about OpenSea and ENS? Okay. We'll talk OpenSea. How do we go about this? It's a good question. All right, so I just have well, obviously I've been invited to do OpenSea too. So let's see here. OpenSea. I'm curious, like if you're also listening, like how many people are using OpenSea still to trade? Like I'm sure not as many people are using are trading NFTs, but if you are trading NFTs, are using OpenSea. Personally, yes, I am still using OpenSea. I don't think I really ever left it aside to trade a couple like collections that the price, like the difference in price was just so much greater on like Blur. Like it was stupid not to go do it. Or Blur just had like a I think there were some people that like did Blur only collections. I can't remember, but for the most part, I've been staying on OpenSea. One, it's UI related. I like the way the UI looks. I'm used to it. It's comfortable. I can navigate it super quickly. And also, I thought that like the gallery viewer, if you're gonna like go through portfolios, it's a little bit easier on the eyes on OpenSea. But in my quest to be the world's farmiest farmer, and I'm allowed to say that I'm technically a farmer, I live on a farm. I've been using products that haven't dropped a token purely because I want to up like the upside of if they drop a token. So I've been doing all my trading of NFTs on OpenSea just in case they do a token. I could get the upside there. I've still been using MetaMask for fucking swaps, even though it's the absolute shittiest wallet of all time. Purely because if they ever drop a token, I want that. I know Rainbow like teased it. I don't even know if they did actually ever drop their token. That's one I got to look into. But I think that if you are going to see some big companies that are down in like the sentiment shitters this cycle come back and save themselves, it's going to have to involve a token. And I think those companies that waited also were very smart by not doing it in the middle of a bear when it's just going to be like exit liquidity for people that want some extra profit or capital in their pocket. Um, who dropped like tokens in the bear that like went like absolutely terribly? I think Azuki dropped in the bear, like dumb. Like why? Um, I think that you're probably also going to see. So OpenSea is probably going to do a token. I think you might see MetaMask do a token. It's been talked about. I think Doodles will do a token. But as far as OpenSea goes, I think that they will do something probably on the retroactive side. That's what everybody wants, but it probably won't all be retroactive because I don't think that makes sense. I think they're going to want to encourage people to stick around. I think they're going to have to do something on the partnership side to figure out competitiveness with these other platforms. I know, look at Yuga. Look what Yuga did with Magic Eden. That was the whole like, hey, like this is our partnership. If you're going to trade apes, you're going to trade them here. I think OpenSea needs to go that direction with like we'll just like look at the top companies right now. They need to go that direction with like Pudgy, Azuki, and Doodles, and then like just find like the other ones that have like the biggest communities behind them and make sure that stays on OpenSea. So like Milady's, go to base collections, go to blast collections, go to new chains that have even launched and like or that are going to launch like Monad, and like figure out how do we get them to come and stay on OpenSea. I think that has to be figured out. And I think that'll be pivotal if they do a token to figure out how to get companies in. We also know that G Money has talked about his mint that comes up. Part of that being OpenSea XP. I think that also kind of shows how they're going to try to reward and make like even like holding tokens and like listing them on like OpenSea, like here, use our product. If you're going to sell something, come sell it here. That makes the most sense. And then where do they go from there as far as like, can they sell other products and other things through OpenSea and make it like a hub for sales and commerce as well? Who knows? That is where I think we see them go. I also think that we'll see more like utility as far as like they're gonna probably lean to push people to do like ENS and buy like dots like soul names and use base names, etc. Because they're probably gonna start pushing people towards like this consumer centric, like everybody has a name or username and it's on chain, it's trackable. Yeah, that's the other side of this. I also think we'll see. And I definitely know that Base has been thinking through that pretty heavily and why they push so hard for people to get base names. It might not seem like a big thing, but I definitely know that's a conversation happening at all the companies, so that it's not just a random blockchain name. Obviously, on like some of the gaming stuff on the back end, it's centralized. You can just use a username, but yeah, that's definitely one that's being talked about. Damn, Nate, thank you for all the comments. Love you, brother. Good to see you in Miami. Hopefully, that's not a dox, but yeah, that was so random to. I was at the Playboy party in Miami and then walked out and bumped into Nate. So big shout. Abstract integration to OpenSea. I don't know. That's a hard one. You got to also remember, like, Pudgy bought Frame or acquired Frame, which is it was supposed to be its own layer 2 NFT marketplace. Who knows? Anything can happen. I think there's the partnership side and integration side is where like the devil's going to be in the detail here, because what is separating OpenSea from Blur and Magic Eden aside from like some UI and like some tools? Obviously, there's other NFT platforms that allow for like pure, like you can like just trade an NFT for like a floor one in the pool and just pull it out. And then there's like maybe some like lending baked into other platforms that you might want to see on OpenSea. But for the most part, I think lending is going to be predominantly done on like Gandhi, also investor in Gandhi, so like low key shill, but I think you'll see the lending go to Gandhi, and then Gandhi will like release some tools, and they'll partner with the right people, and it'll be seamless. But Gandhi for right now has the not only like the brand name for like the largest and like highest valued loans, but they also have like the like blue chip. If you're gonna do a loan, if you want the best APR fees, if you want $1 million loan, you got to go to Gandhi. You can't really go do that on Blur per se right now. So that's also again where partnerships are so important in this space, and why everybody's probably talking to OpenSea, and OpenSea is probably in like business development overhaul right now. It's also why Magic Eden just put up like 10 jobs, and like 3 of them are like product growth, business development, EVM, onboarding, stuff like that. Like like they understand you got to go out and get people onto to start integrating into the platform to make it competitive, because what is an NFT marketplace aside from like a smart contract? And anybody can build a smart contract. That's where I see it going. Let's see. Anything else we got to discuss? Honestly, I'm at the point right now where like portfolios all time highs. I think we are probably going to see some really big things happen over the next few weeks heading into the Trump inauguration. Um, I think that you probably have a few opportunities before then to make some 2X's or 3X's in the market. Obviously, on the AI side, there's going to be new stuff launching every day. A lot of it's going to be absolute shit. But there will be some diamonds in the rough, and you're going to have to look into that. I think that you really need to understand where these agents are being launched from, and this will change. But like virtuals, you can't launch a leading tech agent on virtuals. It just isn't there. The tooling that you have on the back end is not sophisticated enough to build out like a data terminal ingest and have it be reading like the blockchain, and have social understanding, and then interact and like actually like not only just read the blockchain but then interact with the blockchain. Like you can't do that with virtuals. If you want to do something like really crazy, and this is why I say Eliza is bar none the number one infrastructure for AI agents, and why all the most advanced ones and why all the most interesting ones will be using Eliza, and it's why I'm using Eliza for all my development will happen there. But then you can go ahead and like launch your own token and then go over to virtuals and like just throw like that's what AI XPT did. It's not launched through virtuals. It just had an existing token. You can go there and launch it. But the agent is not produced through there. But you have so many different places to launch these agents. You have Top Hat, you have Waifu, the VV Waifu. You have a few other. I can't remember all of the names, but with all these agents launching, you need to understand the tech behind them, and you have to also understand the capabilities of where that model is launched from. And then you have to also understand, like, if you're being promised something that's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, unless it is being built on Eliza or it's being custom built, it just won't hold up to there unless like virtuals I know is coming out with new product releases and new integrations to expand what their agents can do. But that isn't going to happen in the next 2 weeks for sure. Like they have a lot of development to catch up with. And that's also why Eliza is almost impossible to catch up, is they have such a good community of third-party developers that every day you wake up, somebody's built a new plugin or built a new data ingest feed or built a new feature for how you can interact with Twitter. It's hard to do that when you have like a couple hundred people developing on a product. So yeah, hard to beat. Very bullish with what AI 16Z is building. painful to see all that drama that came out. And I know some people say that like there's some main character syndrome going on, but I think in the long term, whatever product has the best devs, and whoever's doing the best stuff is going to win, especially when it's a tech driven niche. What was my thought on the Burgersman? Honestly, didn't I gotta look at that. I have not touched that in any way. I know that was very recent. Why is that not up here? This should have been. Oh wait, trending. It's probably been trending. Yeah, I have not looked at this at all. I know this is all over the place. Is there? There should be a website attached to this. No. No, no website. Burgers, the official meme coin of Stone Toss, a self-utilizing deflationary hybridization of a meme coin and an NFT. It's a tasty alternative to your standard fare. The fuck? All right, is this? So it's just a 404, I assume. Let's see. What are we dealing with here? Details. ERC 1155. What? What the fuck? It's 1155. Honestly, if you have anything here, let me know because I have no idea. And they don't. I know it doesn't look like they have a link to any of their socials on here. What is Stone Toss? What are the it's yeah, that's what I thought. It's 404. I don't know why it's showing as 1155, but that's just the 404, obviously. Yeah, I think 404s are gonna be utilized more. Like the best of last cycle was NFTs. The best of this cycle so far has been memes. Like, where's the convergence? And obviously, even like Smarmy Bum launched. I know he launched his 404 meme, which was if you hold a certain number of tokens, you get a certain level of rarity NFT, and that was a super interesting dynamic. 404s and the experiment around that are also very interesting. It does look decently put together. Art's definitely not like I don't know. I'm gonna mid curve this so hard, aren't I? Yeah, Deez is right. Every 404 I touched, I lost money on. But because I faded this one, it's gonna do website. Let's see. Okay. Designed by Stone. Okay, it is Stone Toss Comics. Okay. Let's see. So how cool is the website? Oh, can you still mint? Start the American Dream, Meteor Meme Coin. Good website. Good design. Yeah, I think this is solving like part of the issue that you have with memes, and then it also solves the other side of like NFTs. Like yeah, you could have a million Mog, but like you're just a whale Mog. Like there's no like graphic representation of that. Um, I don't know, but I don't think this is the right graphic representation for like me to like want to like flex. I have a burger. Again, I'm probably fucking mid curving this. I'm gonna get absolutely steamrolled and miss out on an easy like 10x trade. Um, but yeah, I think dynamic NFTs and new versions of NFT type. So like ERC 721s are what we're all used to, or 1155s for the series stuff. Yeah, those are probably like long. Those are like archaic compared to where we're going to see dynamic NFTs going, and like chunks is a good example of that as well. But cool to see that it looks like they've minted 31,000 of these. Pretty cool. We'll have to track. Can you track the They have the contract here. I'm curious how the price action looks on these. We could probably just do that through here. Activity. What are we looking at? Oh yeah. I mean, I was looking at these when they were like 0.1. So yeah, they're obviously not doing too hot. Um, I'll watch. I will watch distantly from the sideline, and if I get hungry and need to quench my hunger with a burger, I will do it. But for now, no, not doing anything there. But yeah, honestly, so that's kind of like just my gist on the entire market. Some questions on what's going on with the space. Um, I think there's a lot more to come. I think you have certainly a lot of opportunity left, but definitely understand um, where we're going. Virtuals, yeah. And again, I'll just answer this again. Also, people have asked me. I started a agent on virtuals just as like a test bed to see what I could do with it, and then I found out the back end of virtuals was super limited. Um, I like what they're doing, and I think as a launch pad, I compare virtuals to like OpenSea early 2021. If you wanted to launch an NFT, yes, you could go onto OpenSea's studio and you could upload the image and you could launch it and you could upload, 20 of them and make a collection. But if you wanted to do generative art, you could not do that on OpenSea. You had to either go to an existing platform that was doing that, like Artblocks, or you had to do what I had to actually do, which was build out your entire infrastructure from hand, all the smart contract functionality, Artweave, your centralized your server, your own website, and Mint functionality baked in, and then launch that. Like way more technical than what OpenSea is. Virtual's protocol is that it is, hey, I don't know how to write Python, and I have never run an agent before. I also don't understand how AI works. I've never used GitHub, but I want to do a chat. Like I want to do an agent that does chatting. That is what virtuals is. And I think in the long scheme of things, they are positioned well to be like the number one agent launchpad. Um, but they really have to hit the tech side on the back end very hard. And the two areas that I really want to see them hit hard are data ingest. So being able to analyze the entire, certain accounts on Twitter, and then come to a, hey, here's what the sentiment for the day is. Here are the breaking news stories. Here's what you should understand. Also, blockchain, being able to like understand what's happening on the blockchain, what trades are happening, what tokens are trending, etc. All of those be analyzed, and then also on the backside, they are missing a lot of the functionality that again, Eliza is what I hold the standard to for any infrastructure in the AI space right now. And virtuals just isn't there yet. And that's not to say virtual is bad. I've talked to the team, I've talked to the founders. I like them. I think they're nice. But I just think that it's very early there. Yeah. Can't you make custom functions that agent calls? I tried out their test bed and it called an API. I provided it. Yeah, you can. But I also think that you end up having to write a lot of these APIs, or you have to end up writing a lot of custom code to do functionality that's already been devved out on like Eliza. I don't want to have to write an entire code base to to do like the social linking for blockchain. So like linking a account to their ENS name or their blockchain name. Their Eliza has that functionality built in. If I want to do that, there's a lot of trial and error. I mean, I know I could take that code base, but and run it, but it's just baked in. Like I can use it. And as things change and as the needs change, or if I want to make things that are custom, it's easier to add on to that. So again, I'm not saying that virtuals is bad. I think for where they are as a full-fledged launchpad for agents, they aren't where I would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna launch something there, and I feel super comfortable for the longevity of like what I want to do doing it there. Because personally, I will launch like Hunter will have his own AI agent, and that agent will do very specific things, and then I'll be around content, news, etc. That I don't think is possible on virtuals at the current moment. And if I wanted to do it on virtuals fully, it would, I think I would probably be doing a lot of coding that is basically redundant. And also I have a very clear picture of how to, um, yeah, how do I go forward? But yeah, that's a good question. And it's also good to like note like there are APIs. So good V, thank you, much love. Uh, Good question and point. Um, okay, is OpenSea token an instant dump after drop, or are we right into Valhalla? Well, that's a different question than do I think they will. Okay, let's say they drop a token. What are we doing? I think so. That is a good question for two reasons. One, that is also assuming what are they doing as far as how that token is allocated. And then number two is what are they, there has to be something. You can't you don't just drop a token and go, all right, guys, here's a token. Thanks for coming and play. Like, thanks for playing. Uh Enjoy the money. Because otherwise then it is an instant dump. Um and for Magic Eden, that was kind of like they were like, here's the airdrop to reward you guys, but there isn't this whole like why would you sell like there's no narrative of like why would you sell now. Hype is this is the only decentralized perps exchange out there, and they're gonna have their like they're like, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna innovate here, we're gonna do like they've promised a ton of stuff. um why would you sell that? There's so much upside to come. So OpenSea, and I talked about this earlier in the stream, OpenSea has to come out with probably some partnerships and some functionality and some integrations into the platform that make it one worth staking that token, or two worth holding on to it to get more exposure because they're going to be doing, onboarding more IP. I think the IP area is one that's really massive that nobody in the NFT space has really attacked hard. Pudgy Penguins are the only ones that like really have gotten it well with like the licensing side, but being able to bring in like these larger corporations and industries that want exposure in NFTs and have like a home base for them, as well as not having to build out all this like, hey, like when Doodles are dropping their stuff, you have to like leave everything and go to Doodles site. Why is that not accessible also from like OpenSea? Interesting take. And also why, like, if I want to buy these specific things, I have to go to their site. I want to do it. I'd rather just do it in one spot where I am all day. But it's integrations and it's these partnerships that I think are ultimately going to have to be announced. If the OpenSea comes out though and says like, here's your token, thanks for playing, why are you holding it? If anybody comes like, and that's not an OpenSea specific thing, that's, you have to understand like what is the upside and what is the company doing and how is that token going to accrue value in the long run. So that's definitely a play it by ear, and that's how I would tell you to analyze that. But first we got to see if OpenSea comes out with a token, because there is, on the offside chance, OpenSea is just sitting in their offices right now going, holy shit, like we're not releasing a token. And everybody's like running around like that is possibly going to be, that would be the funniest way to have this all kind of end, is like OpenSea coming out and being like, yeah, we're just restructuring the company. And yeah, we opened a Cayman Islands, a BVI entity, and that was purely for this on the venture side, and because we want to invest in these tokens. Like, who knows? Obviously all signs point to them launching a token, but that's beside the point. Let's see here. Oh, I think we might be getting yeah, let's get him on here. I want to ask him some questions. We'll get Justin Taylor in here. Link, I DM'd you. I think you should have it. Yeah, just click the restream link. We'll get Justin Taylor, the smarmy bum, up here, the goat. I'm curious on his take here. The gaming guy, who also, like, having been on the backside of a lot of these combos around different like token launches of different companies and them kind of walking through their thinking on this, you have to know that OpenSea and Pudgy and Doodles. So like we'll just take three companies that it is certainly a non-zero for launching a token. Those three are all having conversations around like when do we do it? How do we do it? Distribution. Why? How do we keep people around? Um, why? Why is what is our marketing narrative going to be? Who do we need to like partner with is stronger? Um, those are the conversations that are happening in the background. We'll get Justin in here. I'm curious what he has to say. Justin, you just give me the thumbs up when you're ready to like pop in here. I'll throw you in.
I'm ready. I'm just turning my lights on.
We'll get him in. Here, pop him in. Get rid of this. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up?
Good to see you.
What's going on?
It's been a lot of interesting stuff going on the last couple of days.
Yeah. What did I miss?
The top three I've been talking about are
That's
Pengu, Pudgy Penguins token drop,
yeah.
OpenSea, and then we had the Pixel Vault Echo raised question, which I'm sure you have a strong opinion on.
Yeah.
I
Let's see.
mean,
Oh, OpenSea. I think Pudgy buying OpenSea is like, if that was an idea, is like a mistake. Like huge mistake.
oh, you
Like,
think it's like a full on mistake?
yeah, I mean, it's not a business that's making a lot of money at the moment. You know, Magic Eden's doing phenomenally from everything I can tell. And so, if someone told me they're raising money to go buy OpenSea, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to contribute money to that. Like, what's the business plan for OpenSea that's gonna like make them profitable again? I don't know. So, do I want to hang my hat on that being the investment? If it was me and I'm pudgy, which I'm not, and I'm gonna purchase something in Web3, I'd be thinking about like a wallet maybe. Maybe I'm thinking about Phantom Wallet. Maybe I'm thinking about uh, Rainbow Wallet, or MetaMask is probably not going anywhere because they're already owned by somebody. But I'd probably be more thinking that way than thinking about buying an NFT marketplace, especially when like
Well, they did buy Frame, which is why like the speculation of them buying
yeah,
OpenSea doesn't make sense. I could see them partnering with OpenSea to like launch like a layer 2 version of like NFT trading. Um, but the acquisition I don't think has fully made sense. If anything, it's just there's like a partnership there. It feels like.
yeah. I mean, I like the idea of, okay, we're gonna scale this business beyond an NFT project to an infrastructure thing in Web3. I think that's smart. You want to diversify your funds. You want to be in places more than just art and IP. Is a growth in Web3. So I like the idea of thinking about that. I think it's really smart, honestly. I just don't know if I'd put my eggs in the OpenSea basket. And same thing. Like I mean, I'm really excited about the token. I mean, I checked my trading volume today, and it's very high. And so I love the idea of a token, but like I don't know, with Magic Eden right now, I see the next year to 2 years pretty clearly. With OpenSea, as of now, I don't. So if I'm OpenSea or I'm somebody advising OpenSea, I'd say, look, let's not. We shouldn't be releasing any token until we're actually making an interesting business case about what the next year to 2 years could look like, and getting people excited that they're not going to immediately dump our token. And
But I think obviously they're not going to drop the token and then be like, oh, like in a year from now we're doing this. Like it's probably going to be like, hey, like V2 of OpenSea is out. Here's what we're doing, and we're going to drop a token eventually. Or they're not going to say that. They're like, here's
yeah,
V2, and it's going to be like, everybody be like, oh yeah, token's coming, and then everybody use it, and they'll be like, oh shit, like this is working. There's a good business case here.
yeah,
If they can prove that
yeah,
out, then the token drops. And it's like, okay, why would you sell now? Like it's clearly working.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, Magic Eden now, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of see the vision more. Like they could be an exchange eventually. Like they kind of own every chain as far as NFT trading goes for the most part. So I think they're doing a lot of smart stuff. So I can understand the token and great timing for them. I just think for OpenSea, yeah, they got to figure out what that is going to be for them and how they're going to expand the business before they drop a token. And like, because there's lots of people like us that are like, okay, we got huge bags coming our way, or think we have huge bags coming our way. Like I saw Pranksy, like the number 1 and 2 wallet. Like, what's going to stop him from dumping millions of dollars worth of tokens immediately, potentially?
But you,
I
so
don't
you
know.
say that about Magic Eden, about the price, and I just pulled this up real quick.
What's it at now?
What do you think it's at?
I sold it at $5.
You're
I'm guessing
smart.
it's like 3. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's 380. Wait, why can I
Yeah.
not? Here we go. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
where we're
the
at.
number one thing I've learned is I don't care what anyone says. As soon as I get an airdrop token, I sell it immediately.
So
I don't
wait,
care.
if you did you get a hype airdrop?
I did. I did pretty well. I mean, I did.
Did,
I did better than I expected, I guess.
did you sell it
Uh,
all right at airdrop?
Immediately, as soon as it hit my wallet, I
Does
sold
that
everything.
does that not hurt like just a little bit?
It did it for like okay, the first couple airdrops I got for like I don't even remember what it hurt, and then it stopped hurting when I realized it never comes back.
Then
Like I mean I had 3 Mad Lads and got a huge wormhole. I think it was like 10 to 15K worth. I sold it immediately. Everyone's like wormhole's gonna be whatever. I'm just like sell it. It's
done.
never like I don't know. Like sure, Magic Eden. I mean I know shitting on the business, but yeah, maybe it comes back. But I mean, can I have that money work harder for me in other places right now? Like, sure.
Right.
I mean, would I rather have 10K worth of Magic Eden or 10K worth of Solana right now? Like Solana, right? Like the chances of Solana going from the 220 it is now back up to 275, 300 are probably better than Magic Eden going back to when I sold it $5 going to $7.
Yeah. That's a valid logical way to think about it. But I guess my counter question on Magic Eden and not like even airdrops overall to you is you said you could clearly get how Magic Eden has like a business and they've like proven themselves to be like the multi-chain marketplace and how they could become an exchange, etc. But then like their airdrop doesn't reflect that. And so OpenSea's issue of even if they have established this business and it's like, oh yeah, we very clearly see where they're going.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a marketing narrative issue or
Well, I think part of the problem is how airdrops are done. Like they dumped it all on people day one, which I think is a huge mistake overall. Like they should be. I still think what Mad Lads did with Wormhole was they're like, hey, you're getting an airdrop of 50,000 Wormhole. It's tied to the Mad Lads, and you're gonna vest it over 2 years. Like when you invest in a Web3 business that's going to have a token, you're expected to vest over 12, 18 months. So why are we giving consumers everything up front day one? Like it shouldn't be like that. You should
yeah.
be vesting it over time. You could even put some like metrics in place that's like, hey, you're going to get 20 grand worth of Magic Eden as long as you log in once a month, you make one trade once a month, whatever. But when you just give it to everyone day one, like of course you're gonna see a pretty big dump immediately. Like it just doesn't make sense to me that you're giving it to people free anyway, so why not make them invest over time and then give them some actual, metrics to hit still. So and why other thing I'd say for Magic Eden is like I just been thinking a lot about brand lately, and Web3 is gonna continue to branch or to bridge the gap into Web 2 more and more, and brand value and what I posted this the other day, trust for Web 3 companies is going to be a huge metric for the future. And like right now, Magic Eden has trust. Like I can't think of any big issues Magic Eden has done. They're a pretty trusted name in Web3 overall. I'd say I'd put them pretty close to the top as far as like Web3 trusted brands. Exchanges I don't think have the same level as trust for consumers. Like, but that matters a lot. I would put them way above OpenSea, and that allows them to branch into other things more easily because of their brand name right now. And OpenSea has some work to do, I think, to get back to where they were, like, I don't know, 3 years ago or whatever they were.
Yeah. I think they do. I hope they have the right people in the right places. I think they do. But hopefully they can navigate making that comeback. Because the thing I said earlier on the stream was it's the hardest thing to do is to revert your narrative in this space because
Yeah.
people are so like it's so hard to convince somebody that they were wrong, or to convince somebody like, hey, like give me a second chance or a third chance.
Yeah. Just think of like FTX, like them failing brought the entire market down and the trust down in everybody for years maybe. Like and so yeah, for someone like OpenSea to turn it around, it's gonna take some time. But competition's good for everybody, right? Like competition with Magic Eden and Blur or whoever, it's good for everyone. So I hope that they can figure it out. And I just think the business model can't be buying and selling NFTs. Like meme coins matter, which by the way, I definitely have a rant on meme coins. Uh, and other things matter in Web3. So how they can they position themselves not just in NFTs? I think would be interesting.
So 404, we saw the Burgerman today,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm sure again the whole rant. You're a very ranty guy, and that's what we like about you. Is you have a strong opinion, and you're not afraid to yell
On
about it.
everything. Yeah, it gets me in trouble,
But you're also
okay.
like you are an expert in your field. You understand the marketing space better than probably anybody else that I know. And you also understand the Web3 space incredibly well. And you consult with dozens of companies, some of the biggest ones in the space. Um, what is your take on us seeing more like meme culture like start to roll into like NFTs? And you launched again your own meme NFT project. It was 404 based. Um, Burgers have it looks like they've seen a lot of success today. Will that hold, and will the floor price hold? To be determined. I think it's down like 40% from when I first looked at it.
Oh, great.
Um, do you think that's going to happen? A lot of people are predicting that this convergence of memes, NFTs having this baby is the future.
I mean, that's what I really thought. I mean, I learned a lot. I think it was overcomplicated for people. I think people just want I thought it makes sense. Why not let people peacock their token holdings on the timeline? It just makes total sense to me. And I think either one, I didn't do a good job of simplifying it for people, or it was just too overcomplicated of a situation, or it was hard to figure out how to market something that's kind of both. Because like meme coin people just want token up, NFT people want like NFT culture, and it was like hard to figure out, well, how do you like position or market this? Like for the burger guys, like they're going hard at it as being a token thing too. But same thing, it like starts to get complicated when you go to the site and they burn and all that stuff. I do think like, I was seeing the burger thing again, I started thinking about it more, and I do think it makes sense like in a lot of ways. Um, and but it's just too complicated for people. Like people just want one or the other. That's what I can tell. Like this DN 404 thing is cool, but I don't know. I think it makes sense. Like why wouldn't your Azuki also be like, if they're releasing a token, why isn't your token tied to your Azuki? And finding an interesting way to bridge that, I think, is smart. Like again, that's why I really love what the Mad Lads did. Is like the tokens are tied to your NFT, not you as a person. So if your NFT moves, so does your token with it, and it's a way to continue to drive value back into NFTs. Like NFTs are so about extracting value in general. Like you have a Bored Ape, then you get a mutant, extracts value from your Bored Ape. Then you get ApeCoin, extracts value from your Bored Ape. And so, I think a big reason NFTs are doing well now is because it's been long enough that everyone that's held those NFTs have come to terms with value not getting pulled back into them anymore, or that all the value that's going to be
Right.
extracted has been. And they're
Right.
like, okay, so I can
Well,
just
you
let
could
this
you could
for
argue that like now these companies can just turn around and be like, all right, how do we extract more value out of these
yeah,
NFTs? Like,
yeah, but it's taken long enough. So I like the idea of bringing value back to the NFTs, and I think that's what 404s are able to do, which I think is interesting. Like my Mad Lads is still uh, getting wormhole every single day that I hold it, and that's value add for these NFTs. Like if Azuki's earned a certain amount of anime coin, every day. That's like value add. And like, oh great, Doodles get a royalty for every song. That's a value add. And I think 404s are a really interesting way for them to add value back into NFTs. So
But
I
keep
don't
the
know.
NFT linked to like that's the link,
Yeah.
not the individual wallet or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
individual.
So like you sell me your Azuki, I immediately get whatever token that's associated with it that you haven't sold. Like if it keeps accruing for the next 2 years, like I start to accrue that myself. Like if your mutant is
So
associated with your
okay,
board
do
ape,
you think it's bullish then if like let's say Pudgy they do the airdrop and they say, hey, we're like everybody's penguin, we're gonna like those become legacy, and then you get a new penguin and these you get a million pengu attached to the penguin, and if you sell the pengu goes with it, and if you sell the pengu, like the penguin goes with it. Um, is that like essentially doubling the floor price of pengu or penguins, or are people just gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, all you
well,
did was just add tokens on the side. Like, how do you
well,
think
I would
people react
say
to that?
if I wouldn't say, hey, you get a million tokens with this penguin tomorrow. I'd be like, hey, you get a million tokens over the next 2 years, and you get 10,000 a month for holding this penguin. And if you sell your penguin after 1 month, 900,000 or 990,000 of those tokens are going with it. And so that like drives people to continue to hold these penguins. And sure, like the value might drop slowly over time, but otherwise, like, I'm looking at Pudgies, and this is nothing against Pudgies. I just think it's interesting conversation is like I look at Pudgies and I go, all right, how much is this penguin gonna drop in value once they get their token? Like, how much are they gonna get? And
Yeah,
is that worth me getting it for how much it's gonna drop in value? And that's so it's like, oh, I buy a Peggy for 30 ETH, it gets 10 ETH worth of token. All right, am I gonna be able to sell this for more than 20? And that's just a weird math thing to have to do. And so in general, if you're like, hey, community, you're getting a million tokens, they vest over 2 years, and whatever we get continually, like, I don't know, we get royalties from OpenSea or whatever else we're gonna do with our money, they all come back to that pudgy. People aren't gonna be selling their pudgies as much. So the floor price will continue to go up. The value continues to go up. They become more of an asset class than they are. And I think that's interesting. And instead of now, I'm like, all right, this is going to dump when they get people buy get their tokens worth.
right. Yeah, it's gonna be. We'll see. I have the feeling that it's not gonna be just here's your tokens like Bored Ape Yacht Club did and said like, all right, be on your merry way. I
No,
I
probably not.
doesn't feel that way. Um, Bunyan making a good point here. You would need to do something else with the token and make it an interesting choice.
Yeah,
I,
for sure.
it's going to be something around content and commercialization. Like that's all they've been
Oh,
talking about.
okay. What if you were like, all right, we just made, we have, I don't know, 20 million in or 50 million in our vault now, right? And we're gonna go invest in other stuff. Great. Hey, we're gonna invest in, I don't know, the biggest SUI exchange. And with that money, instead we're gonna give 10 10,000 of their tokens to everyone that owns a Pudgy,
Right.
right? Like we're giving all this money from the vault back to owners. And so everything we invest in when their tokens launch, we just give it to the Pudgies. They get associated with that NFT. And so you just keep driving value back to the NFTs by associating them instead of just like airdropping it constantly. You just like add value continually to that singular NFT. I don't know. That's what I would do, but I don't know. I mean, the divide between meme coins and NFTs is pretty thin in general, and maybe people like keeping them separate, but I just like the idea
It's
of
the visual component. It's like, hey, this is my like. I'm a supporter of like pudgy penguins, but like this is my identity. It's the pink penguin with the
yeah.
the Kobe goggles.
So like but then you're vested even more. You're like, oh, I own this Pudgy. It owns 0.0% of this SUI exchange that I'm vesting over 2 years. It owns Abstract. It owns this. It owns that, and it's all vesting monthly for me on this Pudgy. Like I'm not selling. Like I'm stuck, kind of. I'm like, all right, I'm vested in Pudgies for 2 years. So I don't know. That's what I think. But I don't know. Who knows what they're gonna do? So
What if Pudgy like bought part of OpenSea and then was like, hey, like if you hold Pengu, like you get like royalties through OpenSea. So then
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Like that's cool then, right? Because I mean, yeah, if it was me, I'd be like, how do I figure out how to spend all this money to continue to give value back to NFT holders? And it's been the opposite. As honest as we want to be, for the most part, projects are about extracting value. And it might not be for their current consumers, but it might be from future consumers, right? Oh, we're going to give you a mutant. We're going to give you whatever, whatever. You're going to be able to mint this and this and this. And it's just driving more money back to the project instead of thinking about how do we drive more value back. And so like when people are like, oh, this project's delivered so much, they've delivered so much. Yeah, maybe they took your mint and went and made t-shirts and sweaters and launched a video game or something like that. But I think the space is getting mature enough that value needs to be monetary value to me. Um, so I don't know. That's
Yeah.
why I texted you the other day about what Mad Lads did. I just think it was really smart what they did with Wormhole. I'm expecting that's what they're going to do with their exchange backpack when it drops the token. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. The other thing I was going to say is like, I think it's just still insane that all this shit with meme coins, all this shit with Pudgy, everything is desktop. Like I tweeted about this the other day too. It's like 75 to 80% of everything done on the internet is done on mobile except in Web3. Like, isn't that
Well,
like no
that's
sense?
why you had this like niche pop up of Telegram based stuff, because that's all like allowing you to, through Privy, like trade on, like you could use BullX or BonkBot or these Telegram based NFT games that are letting you play, but you're still technically like it's blockchain. You can get rewards, but Telegram is ironically the last place I thought would be kind of like the ecosystem for it, but that is where it's all happening right now.
Yeah, but that's like still like internet 1.0 basically still. Like
It shows the
what?
immaturity of the space.
Yeah, like I was just thinking the other day, like I was talking to an exchange that won't be named, and they were like, we want to compete with like Coinbase. They're like, but what do we do? Like, how do we stand out and differentiate ourselves? And I said, still the biggest like collective moment to me in not NFTs but in like meme coin history was everybody buying Doge in the Robinhood app. Like everyone was doing that in like 2020, whenever it was. I was looking at my phone, watching the chart go up on Doge. Everyone's fucking on ramping through Apple Pay to get more money in and buy more. And that was done on mobile. That's why it was such a big moment.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, if you want to compete with Coinbase, just crush mobile. Like crush like being able to trade meme coins, being able to trade everything. Uniswap sucks. It's only on desktop. Like it just blows my mind that there's no really good mobile trading app or mobile anything like at all. Like if I was Doodles right now, I would make the most beautiful iPhone app in the world. Like no brainer to me.
That is actually wild. There is no mobile first NFT company.
Dude, imagine you download the Doodles app. This is what I would do if I was them. You
This
download the
is your
Doodles
pitch.
app.
If Doodles is listening right now, just
Yeah.
this is
You
it.
download the app. It's this beautiful app. It looks all doodly. And you open it up and it goes, welcome to Doodles. Create your doodles. I would create my doodles with all the different thing like a video game, like swipe through, make everything, and it goes great. Like it's been created. Hey, going to McDonald's, scan this code and you get the McDonald's clothes on your guy, all that stuff. And then I'd on the back end be like, hey, and if you want to put this on chain, put it on chain. You now have your own customized NFT. Then I would go to Coinbase. I would go to all these big places and be like, hey, let's our deal be you can make your Coinbase PFP, your doodles from your mobile app easily. Let's get doodles 2.0 PFPs everywhere. Like that's what I would do. You already have all the collabs. All the collabs could drive back to the mobile app. So
Yep.
all the cool clothes your person could put
Yep.
on and stuff. Like I would just try to figure out, hey, here's your digital identity for Web3 in your pocket for basically
But you're
free.
targeting, it feels Web 2 completely
Yeah,
on your phone,
yeah.
mobile.
Because like here's the thing is when you do like brand partnerships, when I work at big brands and you do brand partnerships, you're like, what is the what am I doing for that brand? What's that brand doing for me? Like McDonald's, sure, McDonald's is getting you as Doodles way more exposure, but if I'm like, if I told the CEO of when I worked at Activision, hey, we're doing a partnership with Burger King, he's gonna be like, cool, and I'd be like, yeah, we're doing like Burger King cups. He's gonna be like, okay, but how's that gonna get people to download the game? How's that gonna get people to spend money? Like that's what he cares about, right?
Right.
If you're doing a Doodles partnership, sure, it's cool, but can I get those people to download a Doodles app and create a Doodles? Like, then that's super fucking then I'm moving metric, right?
Right.
Now I have a CTA, a call to action, a KPI. Oh, I'm actually going to convert people to create their own Doodles. Like
Exactly. I don't know.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
even know
missing.
if that's on the Doodles coffee cups because I saw
No,
them
it's not. No, I'm just like making it up.
but that'd be awesome. But and the way you would probably sell that back to McDonald's is like, oh, if they do this, then we will pay for like 5% off of their next coffee or something like that. Like
Yeah, and they're going to get Doodles like McDonald's clothes. Like, we'll put Grimace in it. Maybe they'll be like, you can dress up. I don't know, but you can
I
figure
mean
it
the
out.
digital clothes. Again, I don't even know if that dropped either. They did tease some digital clothes, and I was like, "That's fucking like I want the
I think
Grimace
they did a
hoodie." It was
Grimace
like,
thing.
yeah, I was like, "That's fucking sick. I want that."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I would do because I just have always thought Doodles is like just super approachable. Uh, Doodles.app isn't a iPhone app though. Doodles.app is the studio, isn't it?
I'll pull it up right now. Doodles.app.
Yeah, I mean they have a shop. They have it like I know they have stuff on here. I just think the iPhone app is just so beautiful, like in your pocket. Oh, don't let me see your stuff. It is mobile. Okay, I know it's mobile enabled, but it's not like an iPhone app. Like I think that unlocks tons of different abilities and creatives and stuff. That's just my opinion.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, here it is. Like, I don't think I've made one, or maybe I did. Yeah, this I made, but I'd rather be doing this on my phone. I feel like that would be more fun.
Yeah, I just think it's an iPhone app is just an easier onboarding metric for people to have a digital identity that's much more collaborative. But anyways, in general, like I just think mobile is just it's so weird that there's no real good mobile anything right now. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, product is still the weak point to me, 100%. Like, I don't know. If you really think about it, Uniswap is the way for you to exchange tokens. Like, it's such a terrible interface. Like, it's just super simple. I don't know. It just doesn't, and great, I want to buy something. All my money's on Coinbase. Oh, Coinbase doesn't have it listed. Okay, so I got to go to Uniswap. Okay. Or if I want to do it on mobile, I got to log in through the MetaMask web browser, which is like makes no sense whatsoever. It's just not a great experience
but I
overall.
mean that a little bit of that is where we are as like an ecosystem. Like, I get it. We're in 2024. We've had what 6 years now to mature through a
Yeah.
lot of this DeFi stuff, but we still are early in the cycle of things. Like, if this was Web 2, we're only in 2007, so we haven't even hit like social media standards and like ecom stuff. Like,
Yeah. I just think like I remember I heard the story about the founders of Skull Candy headphones, and they were going to look at they were trying to figure out what their next product would be, and so they were like, let's just go to Target and look at products that are kind of shitty and see what we can do. And they walked around to Target and they went and saw socks, and they were like, look at these big tube socks and this plastic wrappers, like 10 pairs for $10. They're like, we could do that better, and so they made Stance socks, and it was just like such a no-brainer to like figure out. And I think in our space, you can just look at what people do in Web3 every day on desktop. That's kind of not great, and you can make a killer web app for it. Like a meme coin trading app, iPhone app. I know there's a couple that have just started. Will crush, like 100%.
I know we had Vector come out, which
Vectors, yeah,
I've enjoyed it. I have some issues with it, but I've enjoyed it. I like the social aspect of that. Um, back in I would want to say like early this year, I had a couple of people come out to me who wanted to make like the Robin Hood of meme coins, where
Yeah.
you never made a wallet. It was just Apple Pay or Moon Pay and your email. And if you wanted to trade Doge, you could. And if you wanted to trade, Shoguff just launched, they were going to get it on within like 12 hours, and you could trade it. But make it so that you didn't have to understand how to do Solana, or you didn't even have to understand how to not only buy ETH but then get it onto base. It would just be there for you.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
think we're headed more that direction.
I think, I mean, imagine you just run the Cash App marketing play is you just
What is that?
find some celebs, give them a shit ton of bonk and Pepe and tokens to tweet out the giveaway for free. Easy. Like that's what Cash App did. Cash App's like, we're just gonna give a bunch of celebrities 10 grand in cash and be like, hey, I'm gonna Cash App people 10 grand in cash. Everyone signed up for Cash App. Like everyone fucking signed up for Cash App. Venmo was the leader in the space, but Cash App was just like, we're gonna give a bunch of celebrities a bunch of money to give away. And they crushed it. And
Jesus.
it's an easy give like all these celebs that are in the space just 10 grand each of meme coin to give away. Like easy, no brainers, right? Uh, and then I think the other thing is when you can actually create meme coins from the app. Like imagine you don't know what'll happen then. Like someone's at a party and creates a meme coin for everyone at the party and start sharing it. You'll get these like actually cultural viral meme coins that come from new places that I think would be interesting, because when you let token creation come from people that are web 2 and it's easy,
Right.
like way more stuff will come out of nowhere.
Interesting. Hold on, I gotta change my mic. I had somebody telling me my mic isn't working. If that's true, my bad.
I can hear you fine.
Oh, well, they were saying it's not linked up. If that's true, I'm just moving to this mic. Oh well. VGF, I sent you an invite. If you want to jump in here, shoot me either a DM on Twitter or if you're in the Discord. Obviously, I'll give priority to 555 members. I think that's a good point, though. We also need to see some new marketing ploys. We haven't the marketing ploy you just explained with like Cash App. The last people to do that were Yuga. That's essentially the back end. If anybody doesn't know the real story about how Yuga became Yuga, it was a lot of celebs and a lot of money, and
not initially, but
Guy Osiris stepped in. Things got a little different. Some of the Airbnb early people up in Malibu and Santa Monica stepped in. It had an impact.
Yeah. With tokens, it's easier though, because it's like, once a NFT is worth 30 grand, 50 grand, you give one to one person. With tokens, you give small amounts. Like when Robinhood early days, I don't know if they still do this, but like let's say you have Robinhood and you send me your invite code and I sign up, they would pull up a screen and the screen would have 5 like chests on it, and you'd click one and you would get a stock.
Oh shit, I do remember that. I think I got that is so true. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, and like you could get up to like $100 of like
like an Apple stock. That was like the good thing to get. I
Yeah.
remember. So, I mean, think about that. Like, oh, hey, sign up for this app, and you could, you'll get $5 worth of bonk or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, someone's got meme coin in their wallet and they don't even know anything about it. Now they have a chart. Now they can see it move, and now they're already invested in it, right? You can give super small amounts of meme coin for next to nothing.
This guy comes on here and he's just spitting $1 million marketing advice, and no fucking company in this space is gonna they need to listen to you. Like, what do we need to do? Do we need to
I don't know. It's fine. I'm busy enough right now, but
you are. So many companies need you. It is unbelievable. So many fucking companies need you in this space, and they're too stupid not to just send you the email and say, Justin, look, we need more users. We need more traction. What do we do?
Well, I think January or this year will be a big year for like big hires and big marketing if the government legislation goes the way people think too. But yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about mobile quite a bit because it just seems, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of reasons why, like the App Store is going to block certain things, but I mean, I don't know. Robinhood exists. Like there's other things that are available, but yeah, I don't know. The other thing you're talking about, I actually don't know a lot about the Pixel Vault stuff. I haven't looked into it.
Okay, so real quick,
Yeah,
we're
your
gonna.
stream, okay, your audio is delayed. My audio looks right. You're
What the?
lagging. Because
Is
I
this?
can see you're lagging to me, but I thought it was maybe just the two of us.
What is going on?
But I
Oh
think
shit!
I'm like, okay.
Is a
I'm
is
glad to
it
know it's not
is it
me.
the audio or the video?
Your audio.
What the fuck?
No, it's
That's.
both. It's both. I think it's both.
Mm, we're gonna have to do
But
some.
but I think no, I think no, I think your audio is okay. I think it's just your video. Cause I haven't like you pretty much respond to what I'm saying pretty quick.
Interesting.
Um,
Like,
yeah, I don't know anything about the Pixel Vault thing,
well, real
really.
quick, before you go any
Oh,
further,
yeah.
we're not going to discuss any active deals or previous deals on the platform Echo, so that neither of us get banned.
I don't even know what
Um,
Echo is, dude. I'll be honest
okay,
with
well
you.
that's even better. We're not gonna. We'll ignore Echo ever existing.
I saw someone talking about that for some project, but I was like, I don't even know what this is, and I'm like at that point where I'm too scared to ask because I feel like an idiot for asking. So,
It's Kobe's venture platform.
oh, I did hear about that, but
Yeah,
no, I don't know
yeah,
anything about that.
yeah.
I'm also like, dude, nothing I've invested in is giving me money back. I learned that like last cycle too.
Nothing.
I haven't invested in anything where I've seen like at least gotten my initial money back.
Oh, since the end of last cycle.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
haven't.
I know we both cooked on like venture deals from last cycle, but nothing previous from then has done jack shit.
No, even last cycle, I wasn't in what the what you're thinking of. I helped them for work, but I wasn't in it. Like I haven't gotten anything. So like when people
Oh,
call me now and are like, "Oh, like do you want to invest in this?" I'm like, "No, I don't really want to be honest with you, because I don't have like 12 to 18 months to hope that this works out anymore."
yeah. I mean, I did imaginary ones, got cooked on that. I'm down
Yeah, I did
astronomical
that
on
too.
that.
Yeah.
I
I thought it was gonna be
did
great. They're like
I did
huge still.
I
That's
did
what
a ton on blast. All of those cooked, all of them
I didn't do
cooked.
any. I didn't do
Hundreds
anything.
of thousands of dollars down the drain, all cooked.
Yeah.
Um, the only one that I did in like the bear that I know is gonna be like a stupid like 40 to like 100x is gonna be Gandhi. And
Is
that's
what?
Gandhi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that.
the only thing I invested in which I could do well is Somo, actually.
Oh,
Their
there you
their
go.
their Telegram game is doing like millions of numbers. Um, so I maybe it actually does well. I don't know when the token's gonna come out, um, but otherwise, no. I honestly think the only thing I would invest in is mobile stuff right now.
So, what is your take on, because this is all spurred off of a community round, and a community round which is like, hey, we want, it's VCs already, we want the community to have a piece of this venture deal.
Yep.
Which is why G Funk tweeted, hey, like, should we do a community venture deal? um what do you think on that? Because I don't think you should do it.
I don't think you should do it, but I don't know honestly a whole lot about what's going on there. I haven't paid. I I got upset when they even announced that other token. What was it called?
Oh, they did they have GG,
GG.
they have
GG.
Wool, and they got rid of PAL and Punks. Those are
They did.
depreciated at this point, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I was upset because I was like, I got all this POW, and now you're making another token. Like, why don't you just use POW, like, or convert POW into GG? You're just, what did I get for being in here early and all this? You're just like adding more tokens, and so that's when I kind of checked out. So I don't really know what's going on, but in general, needing more money at this point doesn't
I
seem like
don't
a
even if it was a
positive.
need for money, because like that's been the point of a lot of these community deals, which has been, we don't really need the money. We've got venture capital, but we'll take $4 million. We'll take 5 million of like the community's money to get you guys on board and let
Just
you
give
be
it to
part of
them. Be
this.
like everyone that has an NFT just gets it. But no one's gonna do that, right? So nah,
G Funk, G Funk, if you're listening, Video Game Free, if you're listening,
I don't know, but I don't
just
know
give the people
honestly.
equity. That's what we want. We want
I haven't paid
like,
attention in like 2 years, so it's not totally fair for me to say. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I've just pissed so much money down the drain in like investing and stuff that The other thing I actually think might do well is I invested in the fight thing with ice bags. That's
Oh,
actually
the
going.
pandas.
Yeah, that's actually going really well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I
should
know
go to
that.
one of the fights.
Wait, I can go?
Yeah, they're closed events in Miami. They're in Miami. Dude, he's really smart. He
He seems
called
like
me.
he's killing it.
I didn't really know him, and he asked. I forgot. I forgot even how I got connected with him to invest, and I did. This is when I was like Oprah with like donating on it, giving money to everyone on stuff. And then I just forgot about it for like a year, and then they hosted their first fight event, and they got this super cool like they're like closed UFC fights. Like only like 200 to 300 people can go. It's invite only. It's just like kind of like Fight Club esque kind of setting to it. But it's doing really well. Uh, and they have a podcast. They have tons of stuff going on. So it's actually been, even though I haven't got any money back on it yet, it actually seems like it's going really well. They haven't even launched their token yet, which I think is the other thing. Is like, uh, um, will lead me if we talk about gaming at all. Is like he's actually waiting until things are going really well before he launches the token.
It's
But
a
he could
very
have launched
simple
the token.
concept, but
Yeah,
not enough people get it.
yeah. Like he could have launched token a year ago and he didn't. And so now things are going really well, and now he's gonna launch tokens. So he has a lot to he can say about it. Uh, so you know, I'm much more bullish on it. But yeah, no one's really doing that, right? Was waiting until they actually are doing
I mean, that was
something
a
good.
fuck up of everybody in the bear. Was they're like, oh shit, we need money or we need to do something, or and they launched a token in a bear, which everybody said, thank you for the free money, peace, and they
Yeah,
faded out.
yeah. Well, I guess for some people, if they're vesting by the time the bull market came back, their tokens are worth something again.
Uh,
But I think the worst case for it is gaming because uh everyone bought tokens from people that it was going to take 2 3 years for them to make a game. Games are like it's like making a hit record in music or something, you know? And the example I gave is you got these people that are making bands, and imagine if someone comes to you and is like, "Hey, we're a band. We're gonna put out a hit album," and you're like, "All right, how long you been playing drums for?" They'll be like, "A year," and like, "Oh, cool. How long you been a lead singer?" Well, like I haven't been a lead singer, but I can sing, and like that's what most of these companies were, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, they have a bunch of Twitter followers, so we'll invest in them." And it's been years. The games are like super mediocre, if or just like copies of regular games,
yep.
and so their tokens are just languishing. And who's actually going to play any of these games? That's why that ring that did really well. I don't know anything about it, but I'm like, if this game is not out and playable, sure the token's going to shoot or the NFT will shoot up to 2 ETH, but it'll be a slow road back down.
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about the Genesis rings that just dropped.
Yeah,
That are it's
yeah,
abstract based. These. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
a
mean,
two point
damn, is it
two
two
point
six?
six three
When's
floor.
the game playable? Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Yeah, I mean that the slow road to back under 1 ETH. Um, but people just like people want hype. If I had one of those, I would sell it for sure, like immediately. Because I've been in one of these. I was in. I'm still stuck.
You can see the fucking PTSD in your
I'm
eyes.
still stuck in. Fuck. What is it? I'm in Wolves DAO. I always like check in on how it's doing. Overworld or over.
Oh shit, yeah. That was a cook. You cooked on that, and if you
Yeah.
sold when the hype was
Nah,
like
but I
big,
was like, everyone's like, the token's coming for it, and they're gonna be on Binance, and he's sharing game updates. No, man, I can't do it anymore.
brutal.
I know. So gaming stuff, I can't buy anything until the game's out.
There's just nothing there's nothing you're excited about right
I mean,
now.
I'm working with wildcard, so obviously I'm excited about that. There's no token for that or anything. It's just a fun game that's playable right now. So, I like that. Um, but no, I think like gaming is always about publishers and gamers. Like publishers put stuff out, gamers play it, And I do think in the future, once Web3 games are out and playable, you have this third class of people that are like asset holders. So you have like the publisher puts out games, consumers play, and then you'll have asset holders that are just like, holding the NFTs that are valuable and buying and selling them or whatever. And that's like a really rich, interesting economy. And the best example of that is Pokemon. Like Pokemon's a card game. Pokemon puts out cards to play a card game. Like that's what they do.
Yep.
Of course, they're like nodding and winking to collectors that are just trading and buying and trading, but that's what it is. And then there's a whole other asset class of people that are just like buying and selling them for value that has nothing to do with how good they are in game because they're rare or people like them or whatever. And that's been a really healthy ecosystem for Pokemon for a really long time. And it'll get there for Web3, but it can't start with the assets before the consumers. And that's where we're at right now is we have a asset holder class of people without consumers yet that are playing the game. So we have people assigning value to things that isn't reflective of what consumers think at all. So like a great example is Charizard does fantastic because consumers love Charizard. They think he's fun and he's great. So the Charizards are worth a lot of money. It could just as easily be some other fucking Pokemon, but it's
Right.
not because people don't like those. So you have a bunch of people that are just assigning.
Squirrel sucks. I get it.
It's like a great example, hoodies. Like hoodie NFTs might not be the rarest NFT in every collection, but Web3 has decided hoodies have a higher intrinsic value. And so they're worth more. But that's because consumers and, Web3 people have decided that to be so. But for games, you can't have these asset holders before consumers have had a chance to decide what they really like.
Right. He came on here. He spent $1 million facts for free on stream.
I don't know about that. What are you buying stuff right now? Like I learned I can't do meme coins. I just can't. NFTs I'm just better at in general.
Yeah. It sucks because like I have a big bag of Shogoth, a big bag of Goat, and then like an array of like other meme coins. And then I did a huge position in Gods as like my YOLO, like, make $1 million on this trade if it like runs. I am down massively on that trade.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like we've seen this, like the fart coin that came out. That was like the like it was like the ether rocks of like fart coins. It was like, oh, this is the fart coin ever on like blockchain, and it's this like dead contract. We saw that yesterday. Cool.
Yeah,
like I was in there. I threw in like 1.75 ETH, and I doubled that up in like 10 minutes and sold it. Cool. There was like $5,000 in profit. But if you held for any other time zone of that trade, you lost money. That's what it is.
Too quick for me.
It's quick. And if you're not at your computer and you're not able to watch it and you're not willing to like literally see 20 trades come by and then make the right one and then get right out at the right time, you could be losing money all day. But that's also like you're part of like the Discord, we'll have people drop like 30 tokens. You can have 29 of those all be losers or like barely make any money. And then there's the one that does like 140x every day.
Yeah, but what's hard is then everyone's like, why didn't you buy this? Why didn't you buy this?
It's because
you posted 25 of them. How am I supposed to know that was the one? With NFTs, at least, like things move slower. So it's like, oh, I can like watch this in real time and check out the Twitter messages and like what people are saying, who's talking about it. Like with meme coins, it's harder to tell like, like with the fuckahedrons or whatever yesterday, I'm like, oh, the right people, like I can tell people the right people are kind of talking about this. This is probably gonna do well, but it's hard to be able to tell that with meme coins. And also because like with NFTs, there's only 10,000 and great, maybe there's only 3,000 or 4,000 people that hold. And so the amount of people that are talking about it are much less. And they're not talking about it as like, I don't know, like if I buy a meme coin, immediately I just like post it in every community I'm in, So there's a little bit more trust. You can trust a little bit more of the conversations around NFTs than you can meme coins.
That's fair. That is a fair take. Do you think that we're about to enter like NFT season? I think we are.
I honestly I don't think I spent enough time to make a decision yet. Um, I don't know. Like we're gonna do tokens again. Like and Azuki's gonna drop a token, Pudgy's gonna drop a token, maybe Doodles does. I don't know yet. Um, and then uh, I still there's gonna be another. I'd say like my bold prediction is there's gonna be like a Bored Ape style project this time. Like somebody's gonna come out with something, and I honestly I don't even think it's gonna be that innovative. I just think someone's gonna come out with something, and all the like our
Yeah,
generation, old school
all the
people,
OG people are gonna completely
D's
whip
is
it.
gonna be like I just bought the rarest one, and like that kind of thing, right?
Oh, you
D's will
think
get
they'll be on it? I'm saying like
yeah.
the meme coin people are the ones who all cook it, and they're like, oh no, like we were ahead of like the old heads.
Well, I'd say the problem with the meme coin people is like they're in and out, and NFTs are about like not being in or out. So, uh, I would say like I don't know. I think like I still think you could launch a meme coin with an NFT and just be like, hey, I'm launching this meme coin. This NFT gets 1 million of it vested over 8 months, and that's the whole project, and that could do really well. And maybe that's part meme coin. But um, I just think there'll be something else that comes along. Even just seeing how well that Fukuhedron's pumped yesterday, you can just tell there's an appetite. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what it'll be. I don't even know if it'll be on ETH. I think Solana is still super undervalued for NFTs. Meme
Do you
coin people
agree?
holding what strong?
He's disagreeing. He says no. He's like meme coin people are hold everything strong. Like they're holding strong.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe. I don't
I,
know. But like holding strong for like months? I don't know. Like I mean, if an NFT project's gonna do well, it's gonna be people holding like 6 months, right? So I don't know. I still think Solana has a lot of space to grow. Like Mad Lads are the #1 project on Solana, and they're 60 Sol right now, and that just feels tracks like way. Yeah, maybe that's why. Uh,
yeah.
but I don't know. I don't see it the next like big Bored Ape or Pudgy project being on ETH either. And I think all the other projects are like it has to me it has to be Solana.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or it's gonna be base. Like I could see being base. I could
Could be
see
base, yeah.
or abstract. Who knows?
Too young, I think. Like I don't know.
Doesn't ETH feel like old? Like it feels old. It feels the way
Dude,
I felt about Bitcoin in 2021. I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah,
oh,
and obviously, like,
swapping on Uniswap on ETH just feels like I'm moving in slow motion.
yeah, the first like using like doing BRC swaps when for the first time and forever after using ETH all the time. I was like, holy shit, Bitcoin is slow as fuck. Like, who would use this shit? And
Yeah.
then go use Solana for a couple months, then come back to Ethereum, and you're just like, okay, Ethereum's slow. Like yesterday, watching people use Sushi Swap for the first time in years to do the fart coin thing, and they're all complaining. They're like, "This is terrible. This
Yeah,
sucks.
bro, it
Like,
was
what the fuck?
terrible.
I
I know.
failed transition. Like, I don't even know if it went through."
It was terrible. And I just think like if it's gonna be a really big NFT project, it has to be a chain where people are already. Like it can't be someone being like, all right, it's on abstract. Okay, so here's how to bridge money to abstract. Like, no, it's not gonna work. It
No,
never
okay,
was.
wait, stop, because I'm gonna get fucking trolled on this. I know it's definitely not gonna be on abstract. I'm just saying, like, you have to be open minded about like what else is gonna be out there and who's building. It probably won't be abstract, but it could be. So Philly, fuck the Eagles.
Could base can be corporate whitewash chain, but like that's okay. Like that doesn't mean it's not going to be a bunch of people buying it. Like let's say it's some huge like I said, maybe it's some huge base project that actually has some cool Coinbase integration. I don't know.
That would be cool.
No, I don't know, but I don't know. I think maybe something that has meme coins wrapped in it, which means it has to be on Sol or ETH, but ETH is just kind of crowded now. Like I don't know. Like is there gonna be another Bored Ape or Pudgy or something or Doodles on ETH? Like, are you gonna be able to convince people to buy 5 ETH on a new project? I don't know. Maybe, but like, I don't know.
So part of the reason I think that NFT season is closer than a lot of people think is the timeline that a lot of people are predicting, and the one that I think makes the most sense, and especially because a lot of the people that are all risk on are just on the same timeline. It's going to turn to who can front run who, which is up until January 15th when inauguration, or that's inauguration eve, it's the 15th or 16th. Everybody's risk on. They're making all these crazy trades, and then everybody's going to start de-risking. And then basically, where are they going to take that capital? Most of that capital is either going to go stables, majors, or into NFTs, which are
Yeah.
simply just leverage longs on majors.
Well, I still don't think anyone's really figured out digital identity well. Like everyone thought the first ETH run was about, you know, digital identity and all these people that are like, oh, I'm anonymous, pseudo anonymous, like G Money was or whatever. And like I don't know how many people are still anonymous because whatever. But I don't know. I still think digital identity is cool, but I don't think anyone's really figured out what that means yet. Um, so I don't know. Am I gonna buy an elephant NFT project? I don't know. And is that gonna go to like 10 ETH? I don't know. Look at Bored Ape. Bored Apes are worth forty
Oh,
thousand
oh,
dollars
I have
right
to. I
now, I
have to
think.
also. We have to also highlight. This is on Kick. This is a Kick person.
Oh,
So this is
well,
probably
they're worth 40 grand a Bored Ape. So
no.
it's
They're
not
worth 71,000. I they
71,000. They're worth 71,000. So that's not dead. Uh, they're not worth what they were. That's true. But it's still worth 71 grand. And whether you agree or not, I don't know, 71 grand's not bad. I
that's
guess
not bad.
well, I guess if you bought it when it was at 200 grand, 70 grand's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I can understand like your take a bit. I mean, if I bought a piece of art from a famous artist for 200 grand and then it was at 70 grand, would we say his art's dead? I don't know. I mean, you can look at it like that if you want. Was it a bad investment? Sure, you can definitely say
If you're
that.
looking at it on this time frame, or if you're looking at it in this exact instance, sure. I think that that's the nice thing about investments is that they're dynamic, and nothing's dead until it's fully dead.
Yeah, but I mean, am I buying a Bored Ape
Right into a
again?
certain bag right now.
I don't have a Bored Ape, so would I buy one now? No. Like now, thinking about spending $70,000 on a Bored Ape, like no way. I
Yeah,
just can't.
I minted for, sold them all, then I bought another, held that all the way up to the top, and then held that down to 30, sold it for 30, flipped that
I
all into
sold it.
pudgies, and now that 30 ETH is worth like 80 ETH total across the whole like
Yeah,
there's play you gotta just it's dynamic. You gotta be making plays and active. You can't just sit on your hands and like there are things you can just sit on your hands like a punk or an autoglyph, and I think yeah, you'll make millions down the road, but for most
yeah.
of these things, it's not straightforward, and a lot of people don't have the patience to go through these ups and downs.
I don't have anything. My Doodles is the most expensive NFT I have
Really,
right
you got
now.
rid of everything.
Yeah, everything. I sold all my mutants, my ape, my Azuki, everything. Honestly, at higher than they are now still. So, I can't be upset about it. Um, no, I took a bunch of money off the board. I bought I don't know if I should say. I bought Berkshire Hathaway options. I option traded Berkshire Hathaway stock. Uh, and it's up like a lot. And so I just took it out of Web3. So
Whoa.
yeah, I option traded Berkshire. I bought in it. I think it was 300 and it's at like 450, 460
Oh,
now.
so you
I bought
cooked
like
on that.
I bought like 2-year options on it when I sold off all of my NFTs. Um, so yeah, I just took a bunch of money out. I just was looking at my Bored Ape and like watching it slowly drop in value and was like, what am I doing? And I sold it and I got a bunch of ETH. And then I was like, I gotta like secure my future somehow with a bunch of this stuff. As a boomer play, bro. Call it whatever you want. Go look at the stock price over the last year and a half, and
Yeah, whose
tell
bags are up
me.
more? Let's
Yeah,
check. You
look
go.
at look at Berkshire, and I got it in October. I got it in October 23, and my options vest in January 25.
I'll pull it up right now.
And look at that.
So I'll put the last 6 months.
No, it's been over a year. So you can look
We'll
at the
just
last year.
5 year.
No, year.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more than that. Yeah, so I bought in around. It was a little bit lower than 350, and yeah, and it's at 457 now or something.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's up like, yeah, 30%. In options trading, 30%, which is more than just the stock being up 30%, you know?
Yeah,
So,
there's a premium on that. Look at this
yeah,
guy.
yeah. But anyways,
A
but
true boomer.
now I'm like, okay, yeah, will I buy NFTs under a ETH or 2 ETH? Like, will I buy 10 of them? Probably, if I think it's something good, but I'm not going to spend 10, 20 ETH on one NFT. I just can't do it. Like, I was looking at Pudgies all the way on the way up, and I'm like,
It's a unit, so it's a unit size basis for you.
I just want to lock up a lot of my money in one thing and like be like not liquid. Like that's the problem is I buy 10 of something, I can cut my investment 1, 2, 3, 4 NFTs. If I buy one Pudgy, I'm just like stuck with it. You know, like it's just I'm not as like interested in that. But like yeah, I bought 5 of the Fukuhedrons and like 5x or something,
Oh yeah,
10x.
you called those in the Discord today, and that was ripped.
Yeah, I sold one. Uh, just to like, yeah, I sold one to get all my money back.
Yeah,
I have 4 left, but like that's an easier money maker.
you have to drop the meme. I just pulled out my initials.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I learned that the hard way too, but so
It's
I
a
don't know,
it's a
man.
simple concept that a lot of people miss.
Yeah, but I just like I can't fucking hit on meme coins.
This yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, this is a good point. This guy, he goes from being like, yeah, I flipped my Berkshire to fucking
Dude, I mean, I've made good investments in like the regular market. Like Google did really well for me. I bought a bunch of Google. Berkshire did really well. You know, I have a ton of WWE stock, which is cooking because, or it's WWE slash UFC stock, which is cooking because of Trump. It's up like 30, 40% too. So, you know, I was in the IPO for Reddit, which I did really well in. So, you know, you got to diversify. Anyone that has all their money in crypto, it's a mistake. Like it's smart to, and I got stuff that I'm just like buying treasury bills at 5% interest too. You know, it's that are just safe. And I just a lot of USDC just making 5% too. Like it's you got to diversify your investments.
Oh damn. Damn, the WWE stock has been ripping.
Yeah,
Look at this guy. Wait,
yeah,
this what are you
yeah. It's good. It was going well.
look at this shit. Over the last 6 months, it's up almost 40% up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I've been
crazy.
crushing it. Yeah.
Way more than that. I'm think about it, 60% up.
Yeah, I got it at well, yeah, I got it around 80, I think, or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I don't know. Now I'm thinking like I think it's. I mean I don't know. I know no one really wants to talk about traditional market, but I'm waiting for January and then I'm gonna pull all my money out because I don't want to spend. I don't want to pay taxes this year, but I don't know. We'll see what happens when Trump comes in, but like. There's just been such big gains in the stock market in 2024. It's just hard to think 2025 is going to be it's profitable. Maybe like I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen?
We'll see.
I don't know. You know what? Everyone always talks about their wins, not their losses. I've done terrible on lots of stuff lately too. Wasted money on that fart coin yesterday and other stuff. So, you know,
There's nothing like
is how
telling
it
your
goes.
wife, "Hey, we're down 5 grand on the wallet today because of fart
Well, it's
coin."
like, yeah, I like lost a bunch of money on fart coin, but this exchange called Magic Eden just gave me a bunch of money for absolutely no reason, you know? So it goes
Yeah,
both ways,
it does.
uh, really. So I don't know.
That I mean,
You're on Kick and Twitter at the same time?
it's streaming to like everything. Because I haven't streamed in a while, so I was like, let's see like what platform works the best. I think X is my number one priority right now. Um, Also trying to figure out if you're listening to this or watching right now, can you tell me if it's better with the mic and the camera? And if there's an issue, that would be like super fucking helpful. Um, I know Justin said that it's still off, but if you're watching on X, let me know. Also, yeah, first one, I'm doing this. I'm basically gonna do streams every day.
Oh, wow.
I'm going hard. I'm going hard. But
Okay.
when I was in my low point, this guy, audio way better. I wonder what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, it is better now, all of a sudden. I
Oh,
just
really?
noticed you're like talking and yeah, your audio's coming at the same
I
time
think it
now.
was when I opened the Doodles site.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because I closed a bunch of tabs and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
526 viewers? Oh my God. Okay, maybe I should be a little bit more careful about what I'm saying. I didn't realize this many people
What?
are
Oh,
watching. Okay.
that is the wildest backhand I've ever gotten. This guy was on here like, oh, I thought this was gonna be like
Well,
you,
no,
me, and like
I've
three
every
people.
time I've
Oh
gone live on
shit, there's other
Twitter, it's
people listening. Didn't know Hunter could get a crowd. Fuck
no,
off.
every time I've gone live on Twitter, it's been to like 10 people. So I just didn't know like streaming
No,
does very well on.
I can still pull a decent crowd,
Oh,
and
I should have put my like full Twitter handle in my
yeah, plug
name. I
yourself.
thought I
No, change
actually,
it. Plug
how
yourself.
do I change it?
Go
I don't even know how.
into the studio, and you can change your name. Look who we have here. Speaking of
Oh, here
plug
we go.
yourself,
Okay, I can plug myself now. Let's see.
here. Let's see. Can I do it? No. How do I?
There
Here
we
we
go.
go.
Oh my God, there we go.
Hunter's
Nice.
figuring out the live stream again.
I'm
Oh, you
figuring it
turned my,
out.
I think you
We're
turned my
back,
video off.
baby.
I think you turned my video off. Hold on. Yeah,
You
you turned
did.
my video off.
No, I didn't. You did. You have to turn it back on. It's in the
What?
bottom. In the bottom, it's
Oh,
mic, camera. You press V. Press V on your keyboard.
okay, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, now it's like widescreen. Okay.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
Damn, yeah, you can see like my whole setup now.
Oh, okay. I know where you are. All right.
Yeah, I'm in the back.
There you go.
There you
Now
go.
we're
Yeah,
all
you
matching,
got.
matching.
There you go. Oh well, I'm just gonna be Hunter.
Is your Twitter following growing a lot, Hunter? Still?
So I went from 92. I went from 90,000.5 down to like 84,000. I lost like 5,000 followers over like the last 2 years. One of
Yeah.
that being because of the soccer team. That really hurt my algorithm because I had a lot of beef on the timeline and a lot of like negative comments and a lot of people I think reporting the account just because they didn't like me being associated with Crawley Town. Whatever, I get it. But also I stopped being like super active, and I think they also took like some portion that's going to be bots. But
Mhm.
in the last, I would say like 6 months since I've been active again, I'm up like 5% followers over what I normally was. So it's been a constant stream of people coming on, and I think you got to be active in the space, tweet, jump in spaces.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Ugh.
I would say 90% of people in this space at this point don't know who the fuck I am or what I've done. 10% are like, oh wait, I remember that guy, and then there's 1% who are like, hey, like a fellow, original cycle guy, I remember him.
Hey, you
Yeah.
fellow kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I jump in these spaces and people are like complaining about like, they're like, oh, we deserve like a $500,000 airdrop. And I'm like, back in my day, we get like 5,000 airdrops. We'd be happy about it, you fucking punks.
Yeah. I know I lost a bunch of followers too. I just noticed this when I'm just not posting as much. But I just go through phases where I'm just like burnt out on posting on Twitter, or like I don't post for like a week or two, and then I think I dropped like maybe 3K, 4K, and then slowly been coming back up.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah, I
active.
had a handful that I like noticed trickling off, but then like a couple months ago there was a huge like bot purge, and it felt like a good like hard reset.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I also was like, as you know, Hunter, focusing on growing my LinkedIn audience like
Yeah, this guy
significantly.
is the LinkedIn god. Nobody like
Yeah.
how you have almost like 100,000 followers on
No,
LinkedIn.
I'm at
Yeah. Okay.
76,000.
Oh, 76. Sorry. How
Yeah.
dare I
Which
miss?
which is like, I'd say 76 on LinkedIn is way more than 76 on Twitter, because it's every single one's like a real person with a real job that like
The real
but
job. Jesus. The
no, but I
back.
mean like
People in
it's
Web3 don't have real jobs.
no, but it's like it's not bot farming,
Yeah.
whatever. There
Yeah.
probably is some bots, but yeah, I launched a Substack a couple weeks ago. I turned on monetization on Tuesday for it, because I just was thinking like I got to figure out how to build an audience beyond Twitter, as Twitter's gone through its own like
Growing pains and
growing
turbulence.
pains, political leanings, whatever. I just was like, I can't be a one. Uh, I'm fun employed too, so don't worry. Uh, I can't be just a one channel person. I got to figure out, and I love doing this. Like, I'd love to grow a Twitch channel or something, but I just don't want to commit to streaming 5 days a week at a certain
Well,
time.
let me commit for you, and then when you want to do it, you can just jump on with me.
Okay, that's fair. But LinkedIn has been going like so well, and now I'm doing Substack, which I launched 2 weeks ago. I'm at 650 email subscribers, 5 paid subscribers so
Whoa.
far. I know, but it's
That
interesting
has
that
to
like
feel so good, though.
huh?
That has to feel so good.
It feels
Even
it's
though,
interesting starting from zero. It's easy because it's going well. Like 600. You realize like email is actually uh probably the if you try to think about like when you work in social media, you think about like, well, what's worth the most? Is like a like on a tweet worth more than a comment on Instagram worth or whatever? And like an email open is like worth the most. Like if you can get somebody to like get your email and open it, the amount of like brand value that has is pretty high. So my open rate right now is like 75+% on my emails, and it's like 600 plus people. So
have you
that's really
tried going
good.
to like recruitment platforms and like being like, hey, like just do like a brand deal with me and like,
No, I got my first person though that's sending me product. That's funny.
oh,
Yeah, I'm getting like a bunch of non-alcoholic cocktails from some company that are shipping them to me.
Nice.
I know, my first thing is a
look at this
LinkedIn
guy. Look at this
influencer.
guy.
But I just think in general, it's really important to think about how you build your brand beyond just Twitter. And that
What's
doesn't mean,
what's
oh, blue
what's your
sky.
take on the current brand synopsis on Twitter? And we can do this like the company side, like who's killing it, who's not, and then
Uh,
personality type wise, like who's killing it, who's not. Like, what do you think is missing, or who you think's like leaving a gap wide open? I'm curious on your
in
take here.
Web3 or just like in general?
We'll do Web3. I think that's more relatable to probably who's watching.
I don't think anyone has done a good job of like figuring out how to package Web3 in an interesting way. Like, no, I don't want to jump on fucking spaces. Like, how do I just like figure out what I missed today in a 90-second video or an email once a day or whatever that's not like CoinDesk or whatever. Like, what did I miss culturally on the timeline? Like, there's no real good outlet, and it's not available on Twitter, it's not available on TikTok, it's not available anywhere. Like the Web3 people on other platforms are just not in it. Like we're all in it. So I think that's really missing in Web3. I think it's getting more and more shilly in general. Like I just think more and more it's just people shilling shit. The community aspects, which were there 2, 3 years ago, are kind of gone. Like, what made Bored Ape Bored Ape was people like doing cool and fun stuff with Bored Ape on the timeline. Like, no one does that with meme coins, which is fine because that's just not what meme coins are. So meme coins are about chilling, and so I just think it's continue to go that way more and more. So I just think the creativity just isn't there like it used to be, in my opinion. Like what web what sold me on what Web3 was this like you own things. It's about ownership. It's about like government non-interference. And like what is it today? we're all cheering because the government is going to get involved, right? Like that's where we're at.
Right.
We're like, yes, Trump is going to enact laws to help us. Like that's just not what got me excited about the space to begin with, and I just feel like we're missing some of that like rogue kind of
The
stuff.
cypherpunk-esque part
Yeah,
of
like
crypto.
yeah, like tornado cash, like
Okay, but
all
I'm
this
not like, I
Wild
don't think
West
anybody's
stuff.
gonna get on and stream like, hey, like this is like using Tornado Cash.
No, but like, where's the like innovation? Like where's the like really cool
On
like
the content side or like branding side?
on the content? I mean, when I think of content, I also think of just like creating fun projects. Like, who's doing something interesting and different? I just don't think there's much of that. But yeah, from just like a news content thing, I just don't think it's packaged very well. I don't think it's I don't know, like what's his name was doing Banks was doing the probably nothing or whatever.
That
Like
was
what
good.
happened? What happened? Like what happened?
I
Like
have
that
no
was such a
idea.
cool
I thought that was good.
idea. Yeah, I thought that was really cool too. So I
I
don't
saw
know.
you were rocking the FaZe Clan hoodie too. It's nice.
Yeah, yeah, I got the FaZe Clan. I mean, I love the FaZe Clan guys. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my take. Is like it's just this kind of stuff is fun, but like I don't know. I guess 500 people want to, which is awesome. But like people also want stuff that's just packaged in 30, 60, 90
Well, so
seconds.
I'll throw some kudos of someone that I think is doing exceptionally well, just maybe a niche lower than what you may be thinking.
Sure.
RD, Roger Dickerman, fucking crushing.
Oh, I don't know
Like
him.
that style of like the synopsis, recap, that kind of stuff, though he tailors his just to art.
Like I love Scott Galloway. I don't know if
Wait,
you
I
guys know who
don't
he
see
is.
Roger Dickerman. What?
Scott Galloway is like, I don't know. He talks tech and business or whatever. I listen to his podcast and it's basically one guy being like, all right, like Google just invented this new chip, and he's like, here's what I think. Here's what I think about it. Here's what I think it means for for everything. And like that's all I really want is someone to be like, okay, Coinbase just launched Base. What do you think? And somebody that I respect to be like, here's what I think it means, and here what I think is interesting. Great, thanks. Like next thing. And I just want like that, for 90 seconds to 5 minutes, like packaged well.
Interesting. Yeah, you told me about this. You're like, I don't want to have to like log, even if it's a live. You're like, I don't want to log on and have to listen to a live stream or a space for 20 minutes or like 50 minutes to get all the information. I want to just be like, bing, here it is. I got my morning snippet. I got my evening snippet. I'm done.
Oh, like around the horn if you like sports. It like literally says on the side, here's the like 10 sports topics for the day, and
Right.
here's two dudes that you like being like, here's what I think
Hunter, just
about
run
it.
it back.
And
No,
Run
then
I
back
just
did this.
21.
go
I
through it.
did this earlier in the cycle, and no, everybody was like, I don't know about this, Chief. And then, yeah,
Well,
no, I literally
no
did
one's
this
gonna get
shit.
Bunyan's right though, which is like, maybe it's the people in the space are just like, I don't know, I just want to tell me what to buy or tell me what, I actually just want a show that tells me what meme coins to buy. And
Well, that's
know.
my thesis on why gaming won't necessarily take off until the market cools down.
Because there's no money to be made on it?
Because there's so much opportunity cost for Web3 natives to sit down and play a game when meme coins are fucking sending.
Yeah, well, I
that is
mean,
true.
yeah. The problem is that the consumer for Web3 games aren't Web3 people. Like,
well, they are right now for most games.
Yeah, but like to be successful, they need to be like.
Yeah. I would say like Off the Grid is probably
the closest,
the standout example of like a true Web2 consumer oriented.
Or Axie for how well it did in like the Philippines and stuff for people that just want to make money. But yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so I don't know, that's just to me, but I don't know. I don't pay that much attention anymore, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not like, I can't remember the last time I went on a Spaces or sat in the audience or anything. Cause
I've gone on a couple recently. There has not been, I don't know. I listen to people talk and it seems like there's a lack of like really smart takes on the space. And I feel like there's a lot of older people that have been around longer that just aren't going in there. So you have like, it does feel like spaces have like regressed a bit unless you're going to like the very specific spaces where the hosts have just haven't left and they've been around and they're going. But most part, a lot of these spaces are popping up, and it's like meme coin traders like complaining or shilling or being like, I mean, just classic Jeets and being like, oh yeah, like, you know, I got rid of that shit, on to the next one.
I think it's hard.
Well,
Also, people don't want to
ahead.
be honest. Like people don't want to say, I hate this, I don't like this, because they fear, I don't know, feedback, or people aren't gonna like saying like, oh, I think the Magic Eden airdrop sucks, or this NFT project is stupid. Like, I don't know, people don't want to say that because they open themselves up to a bunch of
You're fighting someone's bags.
yeah, or feedback or whatever. So
No, I would say one that stood out when you said like well curated, the other side of that, well curated spaces. It's not always, but Schiller, they've been having like some exceptionally well curated spaces lately. And I mean, that team's been, you know, in the trenches since 21. So seeing them still being able to like draw a couple hundred live concurrent and have like what feels like really substantive conversations.
well, I haven't heard of them, but
you know some of them for sure. Like it's
D's is
like
there,
Bernardo,
Fungible,
Oh, really?
Bunya, yeah.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's good solid crew.
Yeah.
But like they freestyle, so like it's not always going to be that way. Sometimes it might be more art focused or tech focused or whatever. It kind of depends on who rolls through the spaces, but they do have some very, very good spaces.
So many marketing agencies in Web3 now, I've noticed.
Yeah. I mean, more and
I
more
love
popping
D's.
up.
I don't know if I would call him a marketer, but I love D's.
Curator of vibes.
Curator of vibes. Yeah, that's been
I'm
his
bullish
like,
on whatever he does. He's a smart kid, but I mean, a lot of old people are out of touch. I mean, I'm probably out of touch for sure, like 100%. Like, I don't think I'm like in the trenches on meme coins and stuff at all. So like, I try to lean into what I know well, which is marketing and branding and innovation and tech. And you know, I try not to. I don't think I could get on a spaces and talk about why launching on abstract versus SUI and what the difference is, because I just don't think I'd be able to tell you. But you know, that's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, my daughter's boyfriend came over and was like, "Hey, when should I sell my Solana?" And like that's all he wanted to talk to me about, you know. And he doesn't like care about anything besides how am I making money on this. And me trying to explain to him like broader tech, why Solana's tech might matter and whatever. He's just like, I just don't know if I need to sell this or not. Like that's all he cares about.
that's a wild, wow. Were you a proud father at that moment? You're like, wow, my daughter.
It's hard to be a proud daughter when your daughter has a boyfriend at all, because rather she didn't, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I still think Solana. I still think Solana is gonna do the best in this cycle. Like that's what everyone's using. Like everyone's using Solana. I think it at least hits
how
300.
would you have felt if your daughter's boyfriend came home and started like
Sui or
shilling
something.
you like
Mechaverse or
fucking
something.
XRP? What if he started shilling you XRP? How would you
Yeah,
react?
what was that about? I saw everyone got super
It's
excited
a
about
meme
it
coin.
for like
It's a meme coin. It's a dino coin.
I missed this trade entirely, but like at its core, it's a meme coin. And it's like, so I had a buddy that like his two fucking holdings in all of crypto are like a microscopic amount of Bitcoin and then XRP and Cardano. And I was like, you just out traded 90% of crypto Twitter by just
mistake.
holding shitters.
I had a buddy that bought Bitcoin Cash instead of Bitcoin by mistake, like 5 years ago, and for some reason Bitcoin Cash just like was like that. And he's like, guys, I bought the wrong one, and he made so much money, and then just like got out.
So many hindsights, but like those are the happy mistakes that you love to see.
Yeah, it's sad seeing, you know, Clone X was like my biggest like,
dude, yeah.
I did well on it by like mistake, and seeing Clone X like close up shop was pretty sad in general. It just had there was such like a opportunity there that was missed.
Well, so I have a theory here. If it like,
let's hear it.
This may be a hot take. This may be a hot take because you guys may remember way back when there was a story that came out of like how Nike held the patent for like digital representations of like physical pieces and like all that stuff, and it was like intrinsically tied to NFT tech and all this stuff. They held the patent for it, and so my theory was that it was basically like an acqui-hire of Artifact, so that Artifact didn't just get litigated out of existence. Because if they didn't get acquired, that was the inevitable result, is they will just be litigated until they were bankrupt.
I don't know why they bought it, why they sold it, or why they got out. I probably have a pretty good idea of just from people I know there or whatever.
Let's hear it.
I don't think it's anything that interesting. Nike hasn't been doing that well
yeah.
as of late. Like, they've had a lot of layoffs. They're trying to get back to their core business, which is athlete storytelling and whatever. It's just like, you got to cut employees. Do you want to cut 20 people that work in your brand marketing group, or do you want to cut people working on their NFTs that are not really bringing you much money anymore? Yeah. And anyone that thinks that project, I posted this, anyone thinks that project's going to be community driven, why would Nike let anyone do anything? They still own it. Like, just, they're not like getting rid of the IP. Like, they still own it. They're still going to get royalties on every sale. None of that's changing. They're just like, they don't want to manage it anymore.
Put more money into it.
Yeah. Just a bummer. I mean, damn.
They were sick shoes though, for what it's worth.
Dude, when those Murakami NFTs came out, they were so sick though. Yeah. Like, fuck. They're so cool. Like, that was the first like real NFT collab. It was just like, blew my mind. Those were they were really well done. So,
well, yeah, speaking of other, I guess not rugs, but like depressing L's that we've seen in this space, I just realized it's been over a week now that Haley Welch has not woken up.
She's still asleep.
She's still asleep. Also, one of the most iconic, I would put that up there with like some of the most iconic thing, like spaces or fucking tweets I've seen in the space. Like, I'm going to go to bed now. Like, that's crazy. Do you think we're, the last cycle, we saw so many celebrity like exit liquidity stuff and like rugs. And now we're almost at a point where like the general public is paying attention to this, and her fans have really, really like leaned into her.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, it's up there with like the dev died, iconic moment in Web3 history. We're sorry, our dev died in the middle of mint, and we are closing the project down. What I'm curious, this specific situation, but do you think we're back to the same thing as last cycle of like seeing all these celebrities come in, or do you think we've matured as an industry and we're not going to see as many scams and like people trying to just monetize their audiences?
I mean, I think that if anything, I think her lawyers are probably telling her, "Yo, shut the fuck up and don't say anything."
Oh yeah,
that would be my guess. I mean, the celebrity tokens just haven't worked enough for anyone really to get more people to do it. Like, you know, if they were making a shit ton of money, more celebrities would do it. I just don't think you're seeing celebrities get away with it, so that's why you're not seeing more of it. And that I'm sure their lawyers are telling, like, I'm sure there's some ones that were like, I'm gonna launch my own token, and the lawyers are like, no, like, absolutely not. This is like,
Trump has done it well though. I will say he's probably the most famous person to do an NFT and basically walk away completely unscathed.
Oh, I think they'll still do NFTs. I don't see more celebrities doing meme coins though.
Oh,
because the problem is like, there's way more downside on meme coins. Like, you launch a meme coin, people could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, on NFTs, people are losing the mint price, right?
True.
So someone loses $100, $200 on the NFT, but you're like, oh, I love whatever celebrity.
Someone out there is a top holder of Trump cards.
Yeah.
And I think it's like Thread Guy. I think he spent like $50K on it.
But like the amount of people that can lose a lot of money are a
Yeah,
lot
yeah, yeah.
less than on a meme coin, and
Yeah.
so it can tarnish your brand so much more violently that it's not worth the the reputation hit that you could potentially take.
Well, and I think that was the funniest part to me about like their excuse on the spaces of like you said up front you got like 100 like 6 figures plus 50% of the pre-sale or whatever. And in what world is someone taking a 6-figure endorsement deal or a 6-figure sponsorship deal or like anything like that and then falls back on the excuse of like I didn't know what I was getting into? It's like
Yeah.
you're taking 6 figures and you're not digging into like what it is that you're actually signing up for. Like that
I mean, she
doesn't
probably
fly
thinks
with
like
me.
people pay her 50 grand to show up at like Raising Cane's location,
Yeah.
and she's probably just like whatever.
I mean, she was
So
getting 20K walkthrough payments from like clubs and stuff like that. I know those deals are happening.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see more celebrities. I think you're gonna see I think meme coins are gonna get easier to make. Like you're gonna be able to make them from your mobile phone or whatever. So I think you'll see them made more often for more funny stuff, but that like potentially their shelf value goes down too.
Yeah, it's a further like fractionalization of where money is in the space.
Yeah, or they can be used as loyalty programs and stuff like I don't know, maybe it's you're a brand and you want to launch a token as like a loyalty program thing or I don't know, imagine you're a fraternity at UCLA and you're like, we're having a party. The only way to get into our party is to hold X amount of our token, and you launch the token, and then you're like standing at the door and telling people, oh, you want to get into the party? It's 10 bucks worth of token, and the fraternity holds a bunch of the token too, and that's like how they run the party is through a meme coin token launch. Like I don't know if you're like Sigma Chi at UCLA, you're like, we're just gonna have our own token now. Fuck it. Let's
Wait,
pump it.
that's
Like,
actually
I think
this
you're gonna
has
see
to
more of that
exist in
kind of
some
stuff.
way, someplace. That's actually so interesting.
Why not? Like, I just think you're gonna see tokens being regionalized for stuff. Maybe regionalized isn't the right word, but like compartmentalized for different things. Um, and also used in like more novel ways than just like meme coin pump. Like, I don't know.
It's just the tokenization of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, which is honestly I think is like we'll get to a point where it's just like too much and everybody will turn off. Like the original people were doing tokens. Like some guy I remember early launched a token and he said, "Hey, these tokens are worth how much money I make, like 20% of my income for the next 20 years or something." And he launched the token and then, he paid back the token holders based on that. And so I don't know. That's interesting. It's different. I think tokenizing property is interesting. Yeah, airlines will convert their mileage programs to tokens, makes sense. Maybe. I think the problem with that is airlines don't want you to be able to trade that. Like,
They like the friction.
But
yeah,
but
like,
the smart contract, like you can do that. You can do soul-bound tokens that are like only what like they can only
oh,
go.
yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
they're soul bound, but like they don't want you to they don't want you trading with other people, right?
Until
Like,
there's consensus that it needs to be on chain, they benefit from it being off chain.
yeah, yeah. But I do think like, I talked to this company the other day that, if you put music on Spotify, you can't put music on Spotify yourself. You have to go through these like distribution companies. You give the song to the distribution company puts the song on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. Spotify pays that company gives you a check, right? So I talked to this company that were like, hey, we're that, except when we put the song on, we tokenize your song, and then you can go sell that token, and then we'll distribute the royalties from that song back to everybody. So, most music NFTs are, hey, we're making an NFT that's worth so much of the music, whatever, and it's on this new music streaming platform. This is like, hey, it's the same thing, except we're tokenizing the royalty payments, which I thought is a good idea. And so I think you'll see more of that type of thing becoming tokens, but like that's still not meme coins. I think meme coins you'll see like the fraternity launch a meme coin, some Instagram, influencer launching their own meme coin. Like I think you'll just see a lot more of it being spun up quickly and also like drop quickly for specific use cases, which I think will be interesting.
I can see that.
Or like your house, like I don't know, fuck. I still think real estate.
What do you think the next thing to like become an NFT? Like we've seen progression of stuff. We've seen like fractionalization on chain of like NFT products. We have seen NFT representation of like playing cards, watches. Now I know watches.io. I met the founder of Miami, and they're doing volume. Like it's a real thing. What do you think is the first substantial physical tokenization we see?
I mean, I want to say it's real estate. Like if you think about blockchain and it being about ownership and everything in the open, whatever. Like if you think of the asset class that is the most unapproachable or available to people in the world, it's real estate. It's too expensive for people. Like if you want to invest in real estate, you have to be rich, and I think that's a problem. And so tokenizing or fractionalizing real estate makes sense. Like, why can't I buy? Oh, it's going down.
Bro, it touched 25. What the fuck?
I don't even get it, by the way.
There's like it's like no, like everybody got in like a group chat and they're like, all right, nobody sell.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't even know if the sell function works on Hyperliquid. This could be just one giant honeypot at this point. I'm sorry to interrupt. You're giving actually a really good answer on like the real estate and like tokenization side of things, but
we like the product. We like Hyperliquid.
Fuck.
We like the product.
Yeah, I mean, it just means there'll be more like L1 whatever launches that are gonna cook too, for sure, in the future, in the coming months.
Bro, I've 6x off of $4. But I think my initial dollar amount threw me also like trading a little bit and some leverage. I think I've like 15x my airdrop.
Dude.
I've like it's a large number at this point. That's
good.
That's spooky.
Ugh. It became my best play of the last 4 years.
Yeah, not me.
You use it a lot, VGF?
I mean, I wasn't farming it at all, just through use, just because I liked the product and like believed in it. And so like I talked about it in the Discord. I was like, in 555 alpha, I was like, if I get what my loss is, because there was like those World War III scares earlier this year that I got like hit hard on a couple liquidations. I was like, if I get my L's back in this token, like that's a big W.
I had one account that I did like 5 or 6 trades on, and then I had like a 10x long with $18,000 of margin, and I basically got scam wicked on it. Not really, but like it was just the market moved really quickly in the wrong direction, and I didn't have any like stop loss because it was like a YOLO account. But I got licked on that. That account alone has returned on that $18,000 I lost probably 5x on that.
Oof.
Alone, just that one account.
There are worse problems to have. Up only technology is fantastic.
The funny thing, the best meme though, is like the guys are like all like doing loops on the fucking timeline right now, being like, oh, like they're like just doxing themselves as bad traders because, yeah, exactly, because everybody who got liquidated got absolute bags.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I like paid no attention whatsoever.
Oh my god, I am cooking. Hunter is cooking, yes. Also, to scroll all the way back up because I will do a fucking round of I will dance on my haters real quick here. I can't find it. Philly asked, "Are you cooking on the oatmeal?" And I am absolutely cooking on oatmeal. That is going to be one of my. It's a small number that I invested, but that will go down as one of my best investments of all time. Is oats overnight. everybody told me I was an idiot for investing in oatmeal, and that is $1 billion company all day long. So money.
That's great.
I'm sorry. I'm just in a mood right now. Like it feels.
Well, when are you gonna sell?
It feels like I should sell this week. For a lot of these things, it feels like I should sell.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. No hate on the oatmeal. You know what? That's it. If you hold 555, I'm getting us a deal. I'm getting everybody oatmeal in the Discord. I'll just buy it.
Pizza
Fuck
party.
it. It's like, I don't know. It's like $40 like for a starter kit. I'll figure it out. Somebody messaged me and they're like, I love your stream. Nobody's shilled a single thing all night, and I broke that streak by shilling oatmeal.
Dude, mistake.
I have no shame. Also, so yeah, oats overnight, go buy it. Great product. Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Not sponsored or endorsed by.
Not sponsored or endorsed, but I am an investor.
Now I feel like I got to think about something to shill.
Yeah, I hear it.
Your bird shirt bags.
Each of you can shill one thing. Nobody can hate on it. You get one free shill.
I don't know if I can even think of anything.
Mine is most obvious if you just look at my timeline, but like I'll think of something different.
I don't have anything.
I don't even know what. Wait, what would you shill?
Me?
No, VGF.
Oh.
You know what I would shill. I have one thing, and I have a tweet in my drafts that is so ready, but like,
oh, GG.
Yeah, that is the thing.
I love it.
Like,
Wait, you have to.
I know it was
change your name on Twitter to
before.
VGGF. I love that.
I know it was a topic of conversation before. I will hold this.
What is your tweet?
I'll DM it to you.
Is it what? Is it like alluding to like future stuff?
Yeah. Well, I have your kicking the haters in the drafts ready.
Oh no.
So,
oh no, this is bullish for GG.
Nah, but
I'm ready to be hurt again.
I would say that like I'll just give kudos to like some of the fucking you guys were talking about ice bags earlier, like they're fucking crushing. I love Doodles. Austin is a fucking G. Wizards, like they talk about a fucking relentless ass team that just keeps shipping.
Wait, Wizards is which Wizards?
Forgotten Runes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they keep messaging me. I still haven't paid any attention.
Dude, Dota
respond. What?
Yeah.
Respond. No, I mean they're like, hey, you should really like a bunch of people, including
Bear Snake is a fucking G.
Was like, yo, you should.
Yeah.
But I don't. What am I? If I'm buying something, what am I buying by them?
Wizards.
Forgotten Rune Wizards.
Yeah.
How much money?
Like I don't even have a bag. This is just me being like a fan of theirs.
60.65 what? ETH? Bitcoin? What? 0.65 what? What chain is this
I think
on?
it's ETH.
0.68.
Yeah.
Wizards, how much of them are there? 10,000?
Wait, VGF, do you know what I should buy? If
I'll
I were
put
to
an
rip
asterisk
something
on that
right
one
now?
because I know they have a token coming, and I don't know the terms or stipulations or tokenomics behind any of it. I'm just a fan of that team.
I'll look into it. I'm not know if I'm gonna buy something now, especially because you're on stream with a bunch of people. I learned my lesson last cycle about talking about what I'm buying before I actually buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I only have one doodle, and it's the one that I was like gifted before.
I still have one.
So like, I've just held that one forever. I don't know that I'll ever sell it. What else?
I don't have it. I don't have anything to show.
Oh, Justin.
I don't know. I try to think of it. I try to think of something, but I don't have
the Substack.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't. That's not really.
Let's hear it.
I mean, it's all about like marketing, jobs, and stuff. It's not really this audience.
We talked enough about Web2 stuff. Like maybe that's the theme of all of this.
Follow me on LinkedIn.
Diversification.
I don't have anything to show. I can't think of anything where I'm just like, yes.
Why not dox
This.
my fucking
Uh-oh.
inbox. Womp womp. I don't think there's anything bad in there.
Damn. Look at me. 76K. All right. 23 mutual friends. Look at that. I would say, okay, if I was going to show one thing, it would be telling people to not buy expensive NFTs. That's my show, I guess. I would say do not buy anything right now that's over 5 ETH. Like, I just think it's a bad investment. Not because the projects might not deliver, but I think just the value versus like the trust that they're going to stay at the prices they're at now is just, it's really hard to fathom. Pudgy stay as high as they are, that you're going to be guaranteed you're going to get as much value back from the tokens of how much it's going to drop. Like any of the stuff, I just think, I don't know, it's a little worrisome to me. I would be investing in like new cheap stuff that looks fun, and there's way more money to be made there, and you might stumble upon a new great project that's going to be around for a while. So I think that's my
I think
show.
that could be a whole theme to like this, because I feel like there's a lot of people that came up with crypto, or like, you know, the younger generation, especially like new entrants to crypto, where like you can make an astronomical amount of money very quickly, but then people don't know what to do with it. Like I know a handful of people from like 21, 22 era that like, even those that took it out to stables, by the time that like you factor in capital gains, taxes, like everything else, like they round tripped so many bags, let alone like what you were talking about of like putting stuff into treasury bonds or like, you know, relatively
I know
safe,
people
like,
who bought soccer teams.
Uh-oh, your audio's off again, Hunter.
Is it?
But like, I think there is something to that of like just financial literacy, not, I mean, in general, but like, especially within crypto, of like, people are so levered up and get so numb to the amount of leverage that we're trading on. Like, I think memes is just a great example of like, that's leverage on the most ridiculous asset class we've ever like financialized. That's also leverage on the underlying like cryptocurrency that is then leverage on the dollar. Like,
yeah, it's just so hard because like, I don't know, I have a bunch of money in USDC in a Coinbase account earning 5%, right? And it's sitting right next to a bunch of Solana I have that's up 150, 200%. And I'm like, fuck, why didn't I just buy all Solana? Why did I keep any USDC at 5%? And it's really hard when things are going well to like be okay with that.
yeah.
But when things are going bad, knowing you got cash on hand, like cash is power. Like that's what I was talking about with buying expensive NFTs is like liquidity is power. Yeah, and being able to like be like, I have this money available to me for anything I need immediately is worth so much that like being super like having all this only, even like I was telling my cousin today, he was like, hey, I got a bunch of money in Coinbase. Like, should I move it out because I heard people are getting locked out or something? And I said, dude, you got a wife and you got kids. If you lose your job tomorrow and you need this money and you have it in a cold wallet, it might take you weeks to get this money into your bank account. Like, you have the money in Coinbase, you can trade it into cash and get out in a day. And there's like a lot of value in that like you gotta trust. Like, if you have all your money in cold storage, showing up to Coinbase with like $200,000 and trying to put it in and off ramp it is just like, you can't do it. Like, and that's not Coinbase's fault. It's just like, what is this, drug money? Like, where's this coming from? So, you know, I think it is really important for people that come in to understand like the value of crypto, like making sure you have enough of that money available to you that you can move it off board if you need it. Like, hey, I'm just keeping, you know, X percentage of my money in USDC and Coinbase earning 5% because I know I can get that money quick if I need it. Like, here's money that I put in a ledger that I know I don't have to worry about needing quickly, that can just sit in a Bitcoin on there. Like, I learned a lot of this myself just going through it in Web3. I mean, I know how to do it with my regular banks, but no one teaches you how to pay taxes on your crypto. you know, how to like offboard legally, where you should
Well,
keep your money.
there's maybe another hot take is like a lot of people I feel like aren't ready for the conversation of for a majority of people, a majority of participants, even in Web3, let alone normies outside, are not ready for self custody.
Dude, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Like, like I don't like I've done a very good job with like I got what's it called? I got my seed phrases on physicals and locations that aren't close to, like I have everything pretty secure. But there's a part of me that's like, can I just give it all to Charles Schwab? Like, you know?
Coinbase is probably a better custody for most people than
Maybe,
it would
yeah.
be.
But like I'm like part of me is like, can I just like give it to Charles Schwab and it'd be FDIC insured? Like,
Yeah.
because in some ways I feel safer with that.
Or
And
God
self
forbid something were like bad were to happen, at least then like your family has recourse to like acquire those assets versus like the
yeah,
heart the seed phrase that's buried somewhere in the backyard that
yeah. I'm like right now mentally going through the like reorganization of all of my Web3 assets, and like I'm struggling with uh how much to keep in cold storage, how much to keep in multiple different cold storages, how much to keep in Coinbase account. I do think it's important to keep some in Coinbase account or something that you can offload quickly if you need it. Like I'm just struggling on like what's the best way to like should I keep like Solana on something that's like a phantom cold storage or should I just put everything onto like a ledger that's never touched anything? Like how smart is it to keep everything in one place versus multiple places?
Using
Because
air
right now
gap
I'm
laptop. I mean, like you can go all the way to the extreme.
I'm just like spread across just because like as like new things have come up, I've set up new accounts for different things, and so I'm just spread across a lot of places, which strangely makes me feel the most secure right now. Is like I
Oh
have things
yeah.
across so many places that if something fucks up, I can't actually lose a lot of stuff.
It's
But
not an
like,
if, it's a when. Like
yeah,
especially if you're
knock on
playing with
wood.
hot wallets and stuff
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
but like
Like
I'm saying, yeah, I'm fine with keeping. I have a little bit on hot wallets at whatever if it gets lost, but like. Dude, I've gone through like crazy, like everything I have is on like on YubiKeys, like even like my traditional stuff, like all my bank
yeah.
accounts are on like two factors,
There you go. You can
everything.
show
Like,
YubiKey. That's a good one.
yeah, I would. My phone, like like every time I turn my phone on, I have to enter a code to access my SIM card for my phone. Like everything I got crazy anal about, and I'm still worried about it because I'm like, I probably did something wrong somewhere. You know, my phone still I get calls every day from Coinbase telling
Oh
me
yeah,
like,
I mean the scams have gotten so. I got one for
yeah,
signing up for Pudgy Penguin today.
yeah, Robinhood ones all the time too. But
I
I received
know.
100 messages today with Restream chat. Oh, congrats, Hunter. Good job.
Well, I
See
mean,
that
like
notification.
it's just such a rabbit hole that runs so deep. Like you could sign up with a Fani and like have a whole different layer of like Web2 phone protection, and then like you're talking to a bunch of
Yeah.
like degenerates that probably have 90% of their crypto on their like hot like phantom wallet. Like
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know what to do. And the other thing is, it's like, well, maybe I should just leave things scattered everywhere. But the problem is, like, I don't have any idea how much money I have because everything is in so many different places
that is a
that,
very
like,
good problem
I
to
had to
have.
build. I couldn't even do it with a
well,
spreadsheet. I built out a custom piece of software to, on one click, and it daily tracks it. I know what my net worth is across everything. That's NFTs, crypto, equities, retirement.
Pudgy 30th floor. Damn.
Yeah. Oh shit!
That's
No
nuts.
way.
Let's see that. Let me look at that. Pudgy 29.87. Little Pudgy. I was gonna buy a little Pudgy at 2 ETH, and then I talked myself out of it.
30.95. But they're almost 31 now.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god,
just.
it's so thin.
Oh, okay. Hunter, you asked me earlier when NFTs are gonna be back. This is when NFTs are back. I was thinking about this today. NFTs are back when people actually start buying rare NFTs from collections again.
Oh, that's actually so true.
No one buys anything other than floor anything.
Well, wait, we don't know that.
For the most part.
Well,
Like
we don't
I've
know
been
that.
looking
We
at
don't know that. We're gonna
I've been
look
looking
at
at doodles.
we're looking at the stats here.
There's been a couple, like a gold pudgy move.
Yeah, well,
the
look
other
at this.
day.
32. Somebody
Okay,
went.
but
Somebody
like,
spent an additional $6,000, $8,000.
where's the like 50 pudgy purchase?
It was a couple days ago.
Yeah, but like
But you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
go
I
look
know
at
what you
doodles.
mean.
Well, and these
VGF,
pudgies are the exception to the rule right now. So like,
Yeah.
but
even now,
you remember back when like Bored Apes are going, you would have like it wasn't just
Yeah.
all floors. It was really
yeah.
like a diverse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like nothing is like, look at that. Keep scrolling. Like, I mean, for the most part,
I don't
everything
see
is
anything.
probably,
I don't see anything that's an outlier.
yeah, right. And maybe you'll see a couple for a couple ETH higher, but like, where's anything like
Oh
35 to
shit! Keyboard
40?
Monkey just bought one.
there are a few like within the last couple days that I know.
Oh, here we
of,
go.
like,
Here's one. 35
But
when the floor was
35. There you
25.
go.
So somebody paid an additional 8.
Yeah,
but still,
you get my point though. Like,
yeah. And this is like the most outperformant asset in the last, how many months. So like,
Yeah.
When was the last outlier? I don't see anything.
checking OpenSea, huh? Not checking Magic Eden.
Here we go. Okay, so yeah, look, it's literally just been floor.
Yeah.
And the only ones you had a 36, a 35 that we just saw, and then it wasn't until back on like the 11th that you had.
There you go. Yeah. Look at doodles.
back on the 11th, 3 days ago.
But you know what I mean, though, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like I
100%.
get his point.
100%.
Here, hold on. I'm going to doodles now. Analytics.
They've had a couple.
Let's see if it's any different. No, not really. Oh, 10.
Yeah, not really.
You sold your
That's
doodles,
still
right?
a pretty good premium.
No,
over
I
floor,
still have
though.
my popsicle. I'm ready to offload it to somebody and then just get some floors, but
I'm curious what the floor is on your popsicle.
it's 15, I think. Oh, there's mine. There it is.
Which one? This one?
That one right there on the left with the 3D glasses. I got the best one, I think.
I like this guy in the fire. He's just chilling.
The fire?
Yeah. A popsicle and fire?
What? Which one's on fire?
The one with the
Number this
thing
one.
in his mouth.
No, this one.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this guy though. Great. Great guy.
Yeah, talking about the OpenSea airdrop, did you guys see the Dune dashboard?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
The leaderboard took me back, dude. Like that was
Yeah, I know.
something else. Pranksy
Wait.
still being up there is pretty wild.
I'm not as high up there as I thought, but my trading volume is way higher than people that are above me because I just haven't used it. So I'm hoping it's based on trading volume. Like who knows if they're going to use OpenSea's metrics, right? Like they could make up their own metrics.
Yeah, Pranksy, Machi, Keyboard Monkey, Anonymous, VVD, Daddy Kalish, Nate Rivers.
6529.
I mean, look at these.
The
652.
crazy part with
Duck.
VVD is like that's just on that wallet for him because
What was yours,
like-
Hunter?
Across all 3 wallets was like 4 million volume, I think.
Oh,
So
I got
I
you
mean,
beat. I
that
got
still
you-
puts
I got
me in
you
like
beat.
I think I'm like combined across everything. I think I have
you're
I
probably
think I-
like top 1,000.
I have 3 wallets top 1,000, I believe.
I got you beat, which is kind of sad.
But what I don't understand is when I sold some of these NFTs, I was just doing mental math. I was like, well, that's like 1 million volume on that wallet, and it showed the volume as like 250,000. So I don't understand that. And that was all on OpenSea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is me just coping.
Which is that? What's that one? 6 transactions with 1 unique person for $458 million.
Oh yeah, what is this? Wait, that's like, what is this? All right, we'll find out right now. Stay tuned.
Sleuthing.
I
OpenSea
forget how to.
wallet?
Hold on, I gotta go to this, and then you go to this.
Was it the person that bought the What's his face? That does something every day. Beeful?
No way, it's a hash mask? What?
Nah,
Yeah. That's the only thing they have on OpenSea.
that's weird.
Wait, what? Oh, we're getting to the bottom of this. One hash mask for holy shit. For 139,000 ETH. Oh, it looks like it was a flash loan.
Oh,
Has to be. If it's right? Right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, but somebody
I gotta go in a minute.
Oh, okay.
I gotta
Yeah,
go
it's
walk our
fine.
dogs. I gotta go
Yeah.
walk the dogs.
This is
in a
probably a good
second.
time to wrap the stream up. I do got to go to the bathroom, and we've been on for almost 3 hours.
Oh, 500 people.
Dude, this is a
Look
good
at
this
you.
is a good comeback stream. If you're still listening, I know we had-
720 people? There's something wrong with the metrics. There's no way there's 720
It's
people.
not concurrent.
it's not concurrent, it's cumulative, but
Oh, okay. I thought it was like 720 people at the same time. I'm like, holy shit. That's a lot of people.
we have more cumulative viewers than Franklin is bored has, though, I believe.
Oh,
Somebody
that's what
just DM'd
matters.
me that.
That's how we measure success, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's measuring success.
I think we just had 3 people in here that just keep refreshing and coming back to chat.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're earning, you know what?
Pop off.
Every time you refresh, you get 1 hunter token. And it's we're gonna send it to 100 million.
There you go.
I would do laps around live stream guy. Let's do it.
All right, well, it was good chatting.
Yeah, good to see you, Justin.
Good to
Good
see you guys.
too.
Guys,
see
everybody,
you.
thank you for joining in. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. It's good to see everybody. Love you all. And yeah, we'll do more streams. If there's stuff you want to see, DM me. If you're in the Discord, hit me up. But we'll catch you on the next one. Until then,